That is a quality freaking latte.
Real proud of you.
Thank you.
My eyes are getting worse and worse.
Go to
The
Costco.
tweet has been sent out.
Well done, sir.
All right. Oh boy. I have no idea how to say this. We'll do it live. Ready?
Oh, yes.
Let's see. 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo
Podcast.
This guy. Go Nintendo Podcast, episode 771, the Piyukumuku Podcast. The Go Nintendo Podcast is a part of the Greenlit Podcast Network at greenlitpodcast.com. Mom Brain,
I have spoken.
can you tell us about Piyukumuku, please?
Sure.
The standard
Pukumuku.
Piyukumuku.
Pukumuku is what happens when you drink too many milkshakes in a row and go for a car ride. Your belly gets all pukumuku.
I was going to say it sounds like something, this is really going to date me. It sounds like something Marsupilami would say.
Ooh. The tradition known as
Piyukumuku.
or pakumuku, right? Chucking, started from the custom of throwing pakumuku back into the sea after they wash on shore.
All right, well, yeah, I knew that.
They're a foot tall, they're 2 pounds, they're both genders. The category is sea cucumber.
And my favorite part.
Their ability is innards out.
That is gross. That's puking. Yeah. Pukumuku.
Yeah.
Innards out. Your innards out is puking.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not your innards. I
Yeah.
mean, your innards stay in. If your innards come out when you puke, you got problems.
When you eat food, it goes inside of you. And then when you puke it out, that's your innards out.
Food isn't your innards. Your innards are like your guts.
Where do you put food?
Sometimes my innards go out the other end. I push too hard.
Yeah, that's just pukumuku. This is pukumuku. I understand innards means like your vital organs and all that stuff, but I would still say food counts once you've eaten it. It's an innard.
No.
I'm going to disagree with that.
Well, 2-1 here, so I lose. But Josh, how do you
no.
feel?
I have spoken.
Wow, Josh, am I right?
That was a really great story.
Thanks, Josh. Hello to everybody here today. I was in a chatting with everybody.
I'm feeling so great. Thanks for asking.
Hello.
Hey, Rami.
Hi, Nikki Hill. Hi, Mom Brain. Hi, Naka and Giant Reggie and Skill
Hey, Rami.
Diver. Yes.
Is GoNintendo part of a network of some sort?
Yeah, that's why I said it.
Did you say it?
Yeah, I did.
Maybe you should say it again. Just
Mom
in
Brain,
case.
back me up.
He did, in fact, say it.
Hello, Giant Reggie and Naka
Sorry,
and
I'm
Anastasia Beaverhausen and Steel Diver and Freddy Fro and PC and Joe is Cool and the Yellow Wolf and Wolfric Chaser and Hiley and Tom and Canadian Rambo. Oh, great GIF, Anastasia Beaverhausen. I'm going backwards in time and I see your Kurt Angle. And my mom was in here. I saw that. And Arcade Token and Malik Halo and Solamaster Link and whoever else is in here. Thanks for joining us on this. Hello, Dre Gamer. This gray Saturday. It's a gray Saturday here. Hello, Lanquin. Good to see you. And Roth. Did I say hello, Roth? Hello, Roth. Here we are, everybody. We're doing it. Nikki Hill is going to be a little bit quiet for the earlier moments of the podcast because he is apparently just finishing up Bayonetta 2 right now. He said he was in the credits sequence. Hello, Video Game Guru. Thanks for joining us.
That's for me to talk about when it comes time, man.
I apologize. I ruined your big surprise for later on. But speaking of surprises,
And pies of all sizes.
we have a surprise to talk about in today's show. Mom Brain, you are the only one who knows about this surprise. Please don't say any details. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I'm so excited
Scale
for you.
of 1 to 10.
It's a 12.
Whoa, there you go. It's a 12. We're going to talk about it. I said probably within the first 20 minutes of the show, so I'm not going to make you wait for it. But we got some other stuff to talk about. We have something.
We'll just have to wait.
We'll just
and
have to wait and
see.
see.
Gosh, your
That's right,
timing is
impeccable.
perfect.
There's something way more important. As you know, the Go Nintendo podcast talks about the most serious topics and the most pressing issues every single week. And we always cover the most important Nintendo news. And this week, the most important news to cover right off the bat is the Toucan Sam redesign. I've been waiting all week to talk about
I haven't
this.
seen this.
Oh my God. You really haven't?
I
This
haven't.
is
You know
gonna be-
why? The other day I went on Reddit and it was just like, bam, Trump this, bam, the world is ending that, bam, Trump this, bam. And I was like, you know what? No more looking at
I
news.
don't understand. You can make Reddit whatever you want. You don't have to see any of that.
Well, right. And then when I went to when I looked at like the general page, that's what happened. So then I only went to like my stuff, which is like knitting and running and cats and intuitive eating and nice things.
Well, I don't want to say anything. We are going to get your live reaction. For those who don't know, Toucan Sam has been redesigned. Toucan Sam's design has been the same since we were kids. I don't know how long before that design was around, but he's had basically the same design for a long time now. But they have decided to redesign Toucan Sam. So if you don't know, go just type in Toucan Sam and you'll get the picture, obviously. But Mom Brain, I have it here.
Okay.
Are you ready to see the new Toucan Sam?
Yes.
And it is being revealed right now. Oh, she is.
Looks like a Jersey Shore knockoff.
It is, in my opinion, terrible.
Do they want him to look a little like a Pokemon?
I don't know what they want to. All right, let's be nice. Well, hold on. Talk a little bit about it. I will hold it up to the camera just for those who, for some reason, aren't looking.
If you've never seen the phenomena that is Jersey Shore airbrushing, look it up, like Jersey Shore airbrushed shirts. Basically, you go down the Jersey Shore and you get t-shirts made that you only wear while you're there for the most part. And it's like knockoff Winnie the Pooh and knockoff Pikachu, you know, like
Winnie the Pikachu.
Semi poorly done on a t-shirt. And it looks a little bit like graffiti kind of.
Yeah.
And that's what I think this looks like. Although I do like the rainbow beak.
I was going to say, let's talk about the positives because we don't want to be negative here all the time. But I 100%, I 100% agree. His beak is lovely. That's a fantastic beak. I will say that's an improved beak over regular Toucan Sam, minus the mouth. That mouth bothers me so much.
Yeah.
It's
How
like
is
a
he
mouth.
gonna talk? Like, is the beak gonna stay static?
I saw the commercial like live on TV. I forget what I was watching, but the commercial came on. It's just a regular mouth and it talks and his beak doesn't move. It's dumb.
No, this isn't right.
The fact that his mouth is just like plastered on the beak and the beak doesn't open or close, as far as what I've seen,
Get it away from me.
it's no good. Nikki
no
Hill,
good.
You're usually very opinionated. Do you have an opinion on Toucan Sam's redesign? Okay, thank you. Yeah, I heard that the only way that, or the first way that I heard that he had gotten a redesign was, internet has huge negative reaction.
3319 joined us in the Discord. That's very exciting.
Internet has huge reaction to Toucan Sam's redesign. I was like, oh, I didn't even know he was getting one, and I clicked on the article, and I was like, oh no, Toucan Sam was like regal and like refined and just sophisticated.
I think the commercial was on like Hulu or something. So I did see it before I saw any announcement of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not totally angry with it. It kind of reminds me of like, the style of animation that like, when they want to do like a retro style of animation or something, like those Mickey Mouse cartoons or something. It's like kind of in that style, but more colorful and not really the same at all.
I would say the Mickey Mouse shorts that have been around for the last few years are fantastic, and they have great designs. I would say this Toucan Sam is very.
I'm saying is like I think they wanted to try to mimic that without copying.
Well, if they
there's some kind of stylistic like references there or something. I don't know.
Well, if that was what they were going for, then they missed the mark because this is just bad. Mom Brain, I need a scale of 1 to 10.
2.
You said 12 earlier, right?
2.
A 2. Nikki Hill.
I'm not that angry at it. I mean, I'll give him a 5.5, 6. Like, I think he's all right. Yeah, let's give him some time to find his wings.
Okay. And I will give it a 3. I will give it a 3.
I'm in the minority here.
that's okay. We're not looking for you to join us. We're just looking for your honest opinion. So we have a 6. We have a
Is that why
3.
you told me that if I didn't follow your direction on everything, I'm not going to be asked back?
We're not supposed to
Steel
talk about
Diver
that live.
says, Ramit,
I
before
saw it. I get notifications.
IKEA stories?
Mom brain. You know, we talk about things
Constant.
outside of the podcast. Steel Diver and I are like this. He mentioned something really quickly. And I said, remind me during the podcast. And
Okay.
he reminded me. All right. What time are we at here? I don't even know. Oh, I can't. I got to stop looking up there. All right. I said I have a big announcement. And I have a big announcement. Can I get a drum roll, please?
Yeah, give me a minute.
I will be interviewing none other than Reggie Fils-Aimé this coming week. To tell you the truth,
Who is that?
Reggie Fils-Aimé, he's the guy that invented the Bigfoot pizza.
Are you doing a Pizza Hut crossover?
Yeah, it's all about Pizza Hut. I only ask him Pizza Hut questions. Yes, believe it or not.
My body is ready.
I am interviewing Reggie Fils-Aimé. Now, for those of you who are very long time GoNintendo fans, you know that Reggie and I have teamed up in the past. We did you know what? I'm thinking we should do it again. Way back in the day, I guess it was 6 years ago. I was so frustrated because Games Radar had a feature that was the Week of Hate. And I know I've talked about this on a podcast, but it was articles like why we hate this game, why we hate this trend, why we hate blah, 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 blah. A whole week of it. And then after the week, they were like, it's the biggest, there it goes. It's the biggest week of traffic we've ever had.
When was this?
A huge success.
This was recently, or they've been doing it ever since?
I said, I think 6 years ago. I don't know if they still do it anymore. But yeah, no, you're probably just confusing that with the internet at large now. Just hates everything. So when they did that back in the day, I was like, God damn it, that's so terrible. Why are we doing that? Why are so many people interested in that? So I wanted to do a week of love. So I got a whole bunch of people throughout the game industry to do features about what they love about gaming, what they love about Nintendo, what they love about the game industry in general. Well, we had a whole bunch of special guests in there. I don't even remember who, but it was multiple developers. I know Jeff Keighley did something for us too. And Nintendo caught that I was doing these features, and they reached out to me and they said, "We really like what you're doing."
Cease and desist.
They said, "We really like what you're doing. Would you want to have Reggie Fils-Aimé write a feature for this?" And I was like, "Would I want to? Of course I would." So he wrote a feature for GoNintendo. It's still there. I just saw it yesterday. I just forget what you got to type to find it. But yeah, all these years later,
Arcade Token, I got the vapors.
all these years later, we are teaming up once again. And I was going through a third party to get this done because the third party reached out to me to promote Reggie's podcast, which is he's talking to somebody from Microsoft. I think it's on the 26th, and they were sending out a press release about it. And the woman in the press release said, "If you need anything or have any questions, feel free to ask." And I was like, "Well, you know what? Here we go." So we got into a conversation, blah 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 blah. And we got the interview set up. We were originally going to do something like either over the phone or video call. But as much as I personally would have loved to do that, and it would have been fun for me, video calls or video interviews and stuff like that ask a lot of people's time. It's like, hey, sit down and watch this half hour interview.
Are you getting choked up about this?
I would have loved to have done that just for me personally, but I think it makes more sense for disseminating information and getting content to people to allow them to read it to take it in at their own pace, to do something written. So the questions have been sent out. I already know that he has them. I also have confirmation that Reggie remembers me. Apparently, the woman was talking to me and she's like, "Oh yeah, he remembers you definitely." She's like, "He remembers everybody." Blah blah blah.
Oh yeah, he remembers you, little guy. It's real. Yeah,
no, because the lady said originally she was like, "Reggie remembers everybody," and I was like, I've talked to Reggie a good amount throughout the years, and I said he might remember what I look like because I have the giant beard and I'm a huge man. And she said something that like proved that he actually remembered me. I was like, oh, that's really nice. Also, if you go on Reggie's Twitter account, Mom Brain can back this up. Yesterday, I made a tweet about Reggie, and Reggie quoted it for all of his followers, except it was about the what's the name of that company? The desk chair company.
Herman
Melville.
Yes.
Oh, I thought desk chair. Herman Miller.
Thank you, Kyle Lankwin and Naka.
Thank you. It was an update on Reggie's infamous Herman Miller desk chair situation, because I got a picture from a press release that showed that Reggie was actually using the chair, and that was a big thing a couple of years ago, a whole big meme, blah blah blah. So I sent that out on Twitter, and Reggie quoted that for his followers and said, yeah, he's using the chair and he likes it. And then he was asking people to look at the picture because he's like, there's a whole bunch of Easter eggs in there, check them out. But he directly tweeted, what's the name of the company? I forgot it. Herman Miller. He directly tweeted them. So in his tweet, he put their name first without a period in front of it. So it went directly to them. So a lot of other people didn't see it on his Twitter timeline. But if you go there today and go click on his, replies, you can see it there. So yeah, a Reggie interview is coming. I don't know. This is how interviews work. You never know what's going to be answered. I gave him a buttload of questions. And obviously I said, I understand some of these you probably don't want to answer, and some of them you aren't going to be able to answer. But, that's the nature of the game. I completely understand this. I'm just happy to share whatever you come back with. So we'll have a discussion with Reggie. It'll be this. I was told it should be around Tuesday. I don't know. As soon as I get it, I'm going to share it. But I was told Tuesday. We talked to him about the questions I sent him were about life after Nintendo, what he's doing while he's retired, even though he's not retired. I talked about the other things that he's doing right now. About missing Nintendo, the fans, all that good stuff. So I wasn't like, is Earthbound coming to the Switch or anything like that. I wasn't asking him questions about Nintendo because obviously that puts him in an awkward situation or an awkward position. I can't be like, have you heard anything about Metroid Prime 4? What's going on? If he knows anything, he can't say anything, and it would be rude of me to ask that. So it's more about Reggie after Nintendo, how he misses Nintendo, all that stuff.
Kyle Lankwin says there better be a Bigfoot pizza question. That's what my Patreon money goes to.
Solid Master.
You could have asked him about Project Hammer, though, right?
Oh, that's what the whole interview is about. Yeah, 10 questions about that. Solid Master Link says, Raw, you and Reggie are best friends. We get it. So yeah, I'm super excited to bring that to you. I had no idea that this week was going to bring that opportunity, but here we are. So I'm sure in between now and next podcast, something will go terribly wrong and the questions won't get answered. But
you just have to wait and see.
Have to wait and see. That is true. So, Kurt Dog,
true.
God damn it. The one question I forgot to ask, Kurt Dog says, did you ask him what Yoshi's feet smell like? Nope, I forgot.
Corn chips.
I'm going to say they smell like Goombas because he's stomping them all the time.
In all honesty, I'm gonna imagine that they smell like mud and grass.
I mean, they smell like shoes. They smell like dirty feet.
I mean, you live with me. There's different levels of dirty feet smells.
Yeah, but I mean, they gotta smell terrible because Yoshi can't even take off his own shoes.
I just went for a run. You want to check out my sneaks?
Yoshi has to take his shoes off with his own tongue. That's disgusting.
It was raining, so they're nice and wet. Plus, my feet were in there.
That's canon, by the way.
With my orthotics.
What?
Does he have shoes?
Look them up.
I'm going to look at the game here. Let's see. Excuse me.
I mean, he has shoes. He's pretty much wearing the same shoes that Mario wears, really just like a lighter color. But yes, he wears shoes.
Ew, PC says she imagines his shoes are fused to his skin, and now all I can think of is him getting into bed with shoes on.
I don't know. Maybe his arms are long enough to take his shoes off. They could.
He probably rinses them before he goes to bed, Mumbrain.
Okay.
He's not an animal. I mean, he's a dinosaur animal, but he's not an animal.
Does he sleep in a nest?
And he's got eggs. According to the video or to the cartoon, Yoshi also speaks English. So, I don't know.
Is that canon?
anything in the cartoon I would not take as canon. No.
Nick Cannon? He was voiced by Nick Cannon?
Yeah, Nick Cannon voiced Yoshi, and Jaleel White voiced Sonic.
And that's the truth.
Did you? Here's a little tidbit about Hollywood for you.
Shut up. I don't care.
Did you know that Steve Urkel played Stefan Urkel? It was the same person. Yeah.
Wait, didn't he also play like his sister or female cousin? Or
Myrtle
something?
Urkel.
Myrtle
thank you.
Urkel? Yeah.
I know that's clearly a different person. No.
That they were twins, right? There's twins in that show. Jaleel White and his twin.
You're thinking of Full House. Those
No,
little gremlin
definitely not.
children.
Or sister.
Sister.
Yeah,
That's
right.
what you're thinking
We
of.
actually on Friday yesterday
With Jackie.
we schooled a bunch of 5th grade boys on because I said out loud, I was like, hey, TGIF, do you ever hear anybody say that? Do you know what it means? So I have a 5th grade group of boys that hangs out with my class. And so we were all together on a Zoom call, and I was like, does anybody know what that means? And they were like, oh, thank goodness it's Friday. And one of the other teachers was like, now when Miss Mom Brain and I were kids, TGIF was a whole block of primo television shows, and we educated them on how great it was.
I mean, I don't know.
Wait, I thought TGIF meant the girls is farting.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
Blah, blah, blah.
That's what it means now.
And then a kid was like, is that where that restaurant's name came from? And we were like, yeah,
they named it after that block of programming.
absolutely.
I don't know that I would call it all primo
Best part
shows.
about being a teacher, you can lie to kids and they believe you.
I don't know that I would call it all primo shows.
Okay, well, but a lot of them. How about lots of primo shows were on TGIF?
Okay, I'll give you that.
And then I
mean,
followed up with, well, if you think TGIF is good, you should have watched Snick.
But what was Snick? I would say.
Are You
no,
Afraid of the
was not
Dark?
good. Yeah. Are You Afraid
Roundhouse.
of the Dark is good. But my question is, what is the best show on TGIF?
Full House.
No, wrong.
Boy Meets World.
Boy Meets World. That's correct. All right. Can I get my news? One day I'm going to interview Topanga, and it's going to be the greatest day of my life. Let's get into some news. We got a report that internet searches for the phrase, quote, buy Nintendo, end quote, have climbed 890% in the last couple of months. Obviously, during the pandemic, people are home or are staying home and looking for things to do and wanted to play some games, and they were looking to buy a Switch.
Steel Diver said, y'all hear Aunt Becky's going to the clink.
Yeah, she's going to the clink. It's sure she'll be there for like 2 months or something. Then she's
It's
gonna.
not funny that she's going to the clink. It's just I always forget that you can call it the clink, and it's so good.
Steel Diver, I got to talk about IKEA for you. I will talk about IKEA at some point during the show, I promise. Marketing analysis
Wait, hold on.
company
I think
MIQ
Tom says
Canada.
Perfect Strangers. Was that on TGIF? I feel like that was on like Tuesday nights or something.
I think Perfect Strangers may have predated TGIF.
I think I only ever watched that show in syndication.
You didn't watch it when it was like on? Yeah, that was a
don't
big
think
thing
so.
at the Raw Meat household. My whole family watched Perfect Strangers. What are you laughing about? Perfect Strangers was a great show.
I love it.
Cousin Balky, Dance of Joy.
Pelkey Bartakamus.
Balky,
Well, you must have watched it.
Don't be ridiculous. All right. Anyway, MIQ Canada is the analysis company that checked in all this stuff. They said from week 1 to week 7 of pandemic, the phrase "buy Nintendo" saw an 890% climb. To put that in
What are
perspective,
you buying?
during the same time frame, the phrase "buy Xbox" saw its searches grow by 80%, and "buy PlayStation" grew by 70%. So, 70%, 80%. 890%. So people were really looking to get their hands on a Switch. Autumnal Blake says, that's incredible that the demand went up by about 10 times the amount of the other platforms. I would say that Animal Crossing played a massive part in this. Yes, it did, and it still is, I believe. And we'll get into some of that discussion a bit later on.
Pretty interesting that that was the most searched by a long shot. And if you ask some of our friends, it's the weakest online chatting system that there is, or you know what I'm saying. I'm trying to say.
You're trying to be a troll and you're doing a terrible job with it. You want to try again? I'll pretend like I didn't hear it the first time.
Nah, whatever.
We have some talk about Perfect Dark because, believe it or not, Perfect Dark is celebrating, what is it, 20th anniversary? The 20th anniversary? When did it come out? Yeah. Yeah. 20th anniversary of Perfect Dark. So there were a whole bunch of interviews and features and articles on Perfect Dark. And we got some new details from ex-Rare developer Brett Jones, who talked about the inspirations behind Perfect Dark. He says, we'd all been enjoying Ghost in the Shell and the Sylvester Stallone Judge Dredd film. A lot of influence from those. We were heavily influenced by early anime stuff as well. Even Joanna's costume is almost directly ripped from Ghost in the Shell. Also, the leather outfit was inspired by Mrs. Peel from The Avengers, and the dragon dress actually used the dragon design from Killer Instinct. And then when it comes to Joanna Dark herself, they say that she was completely based on Winona Ryder. Mr. Jones says, I was collecting images of faces, had a massive collection of reference images, and we just picked her. She had this great pixie haircut and fulfilled the look of what we wanted Joanna to look like. So there you go. Pretty much the same with any major pop culture creation. It's an amalgamation of other things that came before it. So some anime, Judge Dredd, The Avengers, a whole bunch of stuff in there. Diglis says, interesting. I love that game so much. 100% that for about what?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I'm going to read this exactly how it's written. Interesting. I love that game so much. 100% that for about 2 years' time.
Yes.
I think he's saying he played the game and got 100% like clear rate. And he did it repeatedly for 2 times throughout the year. Thank you for
really great story.
Naka, thank you for reading that article. Yeah, I did an article about GoldenEye Perfect Dark this week to celebrate the anniversary of Perfect Dark. If you haven't checked that out, you can find it on top of GoNintendo. Hello, Kirby. Kirby says, Perfect Dark was one of those games where I played the first level over and over. I wonder why. I mean, I vividly remember the first level in Perfect Dark, but I'm trying to see. I remember other levels. There's one with a windmill or a whole bunch of windmills. I remember that.
A windmill?
Or like wind turbines or something. I remember that. I also remember one that I think it was what do you call those missions where you an escort mission. Escort as in bringing someone around, not as in sexual escort. I remember that. I remember that level in GoldenEye too, which was the bane of my existence. Kurt Dogs talk about Snick still. I did not like Snick, man. Or no, I didn't like Roundhouse.
I wasn't a big one. I mean, all that had some good stuff, but it wasn't.
I didn't like anything in all that except Pierre Escargot. He made it worth the whole show. Without a doubt. Great, highest form of entertainment to this day. Pierre Escargot.
I could just see a little Rami getting so much excitement out of him.
I hear that's why what's his face got the job at SNL. Lauren Michaels was like, "Oh, you're the guy who played Pierre Escargot on all of that. Of course, you're gonna have a job." A Good Burger was okay. Not the movie. I haven't seen the movie to tell you the truth, but yeah, the skits were okay. But I was a Pierre Escargot fan. I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
So wait, is the Winona Ryder character like the main character
in Perfect Dark?
Yeah.
Yeah. Joanna Dark is based off of Winona Ryder's look back then.
I know, but like on the promotional stuff, it's definitely not. It's very different.
I don't know what you mean.
Character.
Apparently
they
were
cartridge and on the cover. It looks like it was just a very different looking character.
Well, they were saying her face and her pixie haircut at the time is what inspired them to create Perfect Dark. They're not saying they used her likeness.
It definitely looks like her.
Well, there you go.
Like,
that's what they're saying.
But not on like the cover of the artwork and stuff like that. But like in the game, it looks like her. I think.
Oh, the cover is just like the close up of the eyes.
Well, that, and then there's another image that I saw that had like a face, and it does not look like the same face that's in the game.
I don't know if you're looking at official artwork or not, but I would say.
I mean, look, the cover of Mega Man looked nothing like the character in the game. So
that's very true. Mega Man 1 and 2. Can I get a drum roll, please?
Can I get a what?
Minecraft has now sold 200 million units. Whoops. No, please don't do that. 200 million units. That's across its 11-year time span. So Minecraft's been around the block for a little bit, but people are still playing it like crazy. And Microsoft has said that the game has 126 million active players as of last month, which is obviously, again, a boost because of the pandemic. But still, there are...
Hey, what happened?
Oh, rest in peace. There are at least, millions upon millions upon millions of people are still playing Minecraft. And I have to tell you, I have really had the itch to play Minecraft lately.
Baby, lock the door and turn the lights
you can
down
play.
low.
Maybe you should go to the doctor.
I don't need all that set up for playing Minecraft. Well, we did play at night a lot, I guess. So.
I will never forget waking up to go on a run before the first day of school one year when we still lived in the apartment, and I came downstairs and you and Lube were still like crisscross applesauce on the floor playing Minecraft where I had left you the night before when I went to bed.
Joe is cool. I see your request for me to watch Good Burger. When we used to have a movie night at our place every Tuesday night until the pandemic hit. When we do get back to that, maybe that will be the movie we kick things off with. Good Burger.
There was a period like in between jobs a few years ago where I was just kind of sitting around at home, a lot like this.
You watched Good Burger, didn't you?
And I watched Good Burger, and I was like, my life has reached a new low. Like, I really need to get back to work.
Microsoft also said that Minecraft saw a 25% increase in new players and a 40% spike in multiplayer sessions in the last month alone. So congratulations to Microsoft and Minecraft. What an amazing game. What an amazing idea. And it's just cool to see it thriving so many years later. Oh,
but like, I just have to say,
Good
I don't
Burger.
mean anything negative about Good Burger, but like, there's thousands and thousands of movies that I have on a list that I want to watch, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to watch a Good Burger. I've never seen that.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up because I think a lot of people have lists of things they want to watch or read or play, and when you do that kind of stuff, you kind of put some pressure on yourself and you build it up in your mind, and you're like, oh God, it's been on there for so long and I haven't watched it. I got to get around to that. I got to do it. And then when you're having trouble deciding what on your list you're going to do, you stress yourself out. So if something pops up like Good Burger and you're like, I'll watch Good Burger.
Yeah.
And it becomes a life-changing event. Well, Tony Blake says, certainly one of the most important games to ever exist. I haven't played it in a long time, but I played it all afternoon after school back in primary school. Yeah, like Mom Brain was saying, I played it all night and all morning while Mom Brain was going off to school.
In fact, I think like the guilt of it got to Lube because on my run, I ran past him driving home. He was like, I gotta go.
I think it was more like you came downstairs to go to work and he was like, oh my God, it's 6 in the morning. Mom Brain, did you know that Animal Crossing New Horizons hackers are making money off of impossible trees?
No.
Would you like a tree with maybe a fossil in it?
Maybe.
Or a tree with, I don't know, name an item. Name an Animal Crossing item.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, hackers are taking any item in the game and making them appear on trees. So as fruit is placed on trees, these items are now placed on trees. And obviously, the one that is most interesting to people is the star fragment tree. You can't get the star fragments, but they decorate your tree and they look quite lovely. And
what about turnips?
You could have a turnip tree, sure, yeah. Hackers are creating these trees and selling them online. And believe it or not, they're selling them for up to $3. So a single star tree for $3. Now, obviously, those trees probably won't last forever because Nintendo constantly updates the game and they will stop people from doing that kind of stuff. So you might be paying for something that you could lose the next week. But for the time being, people are enjoying their fancy star trees and showing off impossible trees in the game.
There's a picture of them in the Discord, and they're very pretty.
There's a picture of them in this article. Steve Nintendo, Mom Brain, are you ready?
So ready.
Steve Nintendo says, that's not possible.
Oh boy.
She's not ready, Steven.
What's that from?
Fire Emblem? Smash Brothers? Fire Emblem? I don't know. Steven Nintendo, she really wasn't ready.
I mean, they're not organized in the way that I mean, can we just go with this?
No.
That is not correct.
You got to find that's not possible.
I'll get there.
Did you try Fire Emblem? It was the first one I said.
See.
You know, you do the soundboard.
That's not possible.
There you go. You can organize it however you want.
No, we won't be doing that.
Oh, just want to complain, huh? Go ahead. You can do whatever you want. That's fine. You can rename them.
They need to be like reorganized. Yeah.
Go ahead. I want to hear your thought process here.
I want them organized not by like the game. I kind of want them organized by like what it says. So I don't want to say Fire Emblem, that's not possible. I just want that's not possible. And I want all of a certain
okay. Go ahead. Yeah.
someone's to be together. If you know what I mean.
That's not possible. All right, moving on. Nintendo has filed 2 new lawsuits against Switch hackers. So this is nothing new for Nintendo. They're always going after people who they feel are threatening their ecosystem, and now they're going after 2 more people. These lawsuits were filed. These lawsuits were filed last Friday, and they target hack resellers. The operator of the website UberChips got is part of this lawsuit, and a second one went after an anonymous defendant from a selection of different websites. And apparently all these involve people who sell creations that were created by Team Executor, who is known for creating a whole bunch of hack stuff. So Nintendo says they're selling, quote, an unauthorized operating system and accompanying piracy tools that install it. Nintendo is not about that life. Nintendo's looking to grab $2,500 per trafficking violation in each one of these cases. So that can quickly add up. If this goes as all other lawsuits in this vein go, Nintendo will win, and these things will be stopped, and there's going to be lots of legal fees, and these people are going to be in all kinds of trouble going forward. So we'll certainly keep up with what happens, but I can't imagine any situation. Where's the little one? Where's the little screwdriver?
I don't know. Where is it?
You do know. So we'll see what happens, and we'll make sure to keep you posted. Autonal Blake says, people never learn. As I said, people do learn, because I was one of those people. Like I said, way back in the day when I was in early high school, I was like, emulators, I can play all the games I want. And I was just thinking about how I wanted to play the games I wanted to play. And then one day I was like, this isn't right. I probably shouldn't be doing this. You know, it was easier to play all my like old school NES and Super Nintendo favorites on the computer. But one day I was just like, I probably shouldn't be doing this. And I stopped. And I'm sure millions of other people have also been in that same situation, and they stopped too and moved on. I know there's a whole legal there's a whole legal gray area for people who have emulators, but they also own the hard copies of the games themselves. I personally, just me, don't see any issue of that. If you have a copy of Donkey Kong Country and you like a physical Super Nintendo copy, and you also have a backup on your computer, I don't see any problem with that at all. Just in case the physical hardware fails, you can still play the game, or physical software, I should say, fails. God damn it. So that's just my own 2 cents on that, but I'm guessing Nintendo feels differently. Moving on. Apparently, Nintendo is telling their partners that they don't have any plans for a Direct right now because they don't know what's going to happen with the pandemic and all that. Nintendo's been working from home, and certainly some things are easier to do working from home than others. And creating a video presentation where you work with a whole bunch of partners and put together trailers featuring games from other companies and film a presenter and record, do the special effects and all that stuff. Doing all that from home is not the easiest thing to do. And Nintendo, while they're finding their way through the pandemic to see how they can do things and what would work and what won't, they have decided to apparently tell partners that they don't have any directs in the works right now because of this situation. So if those people have something to announce, they should plan on announcing it on their own, because they're not going to get a direct spotlight, because we don't know when the direct's going to be. So we should start seeing other developers just doing special announcements for their games or releasing trailers or even shadow dropping titles. I would argue that, oh no, what's it called? I think I know the name. Hold on one second.
Mhm.
Yeah, Journey to the Savage Planet, which we knew was coming to the Switch unofficially because for, almost a year now, there have been retailer listings and ratings boards that have put up a listing for the game on Switch, even though the developer and the publisher never mentioned it. And then just this past week, the game released out of nowhere. It was part of the press release. They just said, Nintendo's weekly press release. It was just like that Journey to the Savage Planet is out now on Switch. And people are like, I didn't even know this game was coming to Switch. So I'm guessing that would have had a spotlight in a direct because we know that at least one direct was the full plans for that direct were scrapped because of what was going on. So yeah, I would imagine that was going to be part of it. And countless other games too. So it's just going to be people or game companies randomly dropping stuff from here on out for at least a couple months. I would imagine until like September or October or something like that. So it's going to be interesting. There's games coming, obviously. We just don't know when to like look out for them. It's every company for themselves. Ben Golden Triforce says, I'm hoping more of the niche games have time to wait then. Something like Monster Hunter would obviously do fine without its own direct, and even a Bravely Default 2 could probably be marketed on its own at this point. However, I'd be worried about the outlook of something like Shin Megami Tensei 5 if it was coming out this fall and never got a direct feature. Luckily, it's seeming unlikely that game's making this year at this point, so it should be fine, but I still do hope most of the more niche games are coming out late enough that they'll have time to make a direct. Obviously, this is about third parties. It seems Nintendo themselves don't have anything that niche coming up soon, and they would have to worry unless some weird new IP comes out of nowhere, which is always possible. Yeah, I mean, like Paper Mario: The Origami King. That's not a niche title. That's not a small title for Nintendo. That they can just
Isn't it niche?
You can say it either way.
Okay.
You want me to say niche from now
I
on?
was shaving the other day and I niched my skin.
I could say Nick. You want me to say Nick? Yeah, Paper Mario is going to do fine on its own. They can just surprise announce it with a trailer and people get excited. Then when you see it's coming out July 17th, which isn't far off at all, you're like, oh my God. So that builds its own hype. Like I said, that trailer was #1 trending on YouTube for that day. Overall, just all of YouTube. So yeah, Nintendo doesn't have to worry about that kind of stuff. But certainly smaller third-party developers or indie games really look forward to a Nintendo Direct placement because that gives them such a signal boost for their project and release date and everything else. It just gets it in front of so many other eyes that wouldn't normally see it. So yeah, it's going to have an impact probably more so on the smaller guys than the bigger guys, but hopefully they can hang in there and wait until Nintendo puts together maybe at the very least an Indie Direct or an Indie World presentation again, because that certainly helps. All right. Mom Brain, let's do our plugs, please. We will be back in less than a minute.
In just a few minutes.
On Apocrypals, we talk about the parts of the Bible that a lot of people skip over.
Like the wizard battles,
The angel jacuzzis,
a goat full of sins,
500 drunk elephants,
and a man named Porky Party.
and yes, that's all really in there. All this and more on Apocrypals every other week on the Greenlit Podcast Network.
Welcome to Casual Magic, the show where we explore the fun side of Magic the Gathering. I'm your host, Shivam Putt, and each week we delve into everything from casual format to explorations of creatures and card types to interviews with designers of the game. At Casual Magic, we believe that it just isn't Magic without the Gathering. Come along and play.
Oh, so close.
I don't want to ruin this microphone. Thank you. All right. Mom Brain,
Yeah, dude.
have you ever bought any CD black market
DVDs.
toys?
Dave's auction.
Maybe a knockoff He-Man?
What? No. Dave's auction, maybe. No, I'm sure I did as a kid.
Him man. He guy.
He dude.
Dude.
Hero.
Uh,
I'm probably as a kid, like, on vacation, like everybody in the family would just like throw all their spare change at me and I'd roll it and I'd like take coins to like gift shops and like buy crap.
Oh man, I wonder where all that stuff is right now.
It's probably
garbage.
It's probably been donated. And so the rule in our house was that like a month before Christmas, I had to go through all my toys and we had to donate any toys that I hadn't played with like in a while. So.
And then when you on Christmas you opened up all your gifts and it was the toys that you had thought you donated.
Exactly.
By the power of Skagrol, I am he dude. He dude.
Do honk honk.
I
honk.
have the energy. Well, there's been a counterfeit toy bust recently.
Ooh.
That was valued at over $600,000.
Was it a Venus de Milo?
A gummy Venus de Milo. U.S. Customs and Border Protection. I don't know, somehow got wind of a shipment that was heading to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Oh, man.
And it came from Hong Kong. Inside the shipment were
from Hong Kong to Harrisburg.
86,000 figurines, Pokemon figurines, and they were all knockoffs. As I said, they were valued at over $600,000, and they are not making it onto the market anymore, which is good for Pokemon Company and Nintendo, obviously. Also, U.S. Customs wants people to know that these toys contain choking hazards because little parts break off easily and they could strangle a child or an adult that is not paying attention.
Strangle?
Yeah, strangle, choking.
Is that strangling if you're choking on it? I thought strangle was wrapping around your throat.
Look it up, Mom Brain. Let's get the official definition of strangling. And they also said, while they can't 100% confirm it, usually these counterfeit toys use lead-based paint, which is not safe. So there you go.
It's a verb. Squeeze or constrict the neck of a person or animal, especially so as to cause death.
So it's not strangling then, because it's not pressure on the neck, just choking then.
Boy, did I make you look like a fool.
Sajim Mewtwo.
What do you think about that, Josh? All right. I guess he's not paying attention.
That was a really great story.
Thanks, Josh.
Sajim Mewtwo says, oh man, the quality of the toys are so bad, but then again, parents would get fooled by them since they'd be so cheap and just as good as the real thing. No dollar store knockoffs are not as good as the real thing. Won't anyone think of the children?
Wrong with this one.
Yeah, you know, if a parent or a grandparent is going into a store and they see a Pokemon, they got a rough idea what Pikachu looks like. They're not going to be able to tell it's a knockoff unless, the eyes are missing. What the hell was that?
My dog just shook out because she was a little itchy.
Yeah, the eyes are missing or it's a wrong color or something. But still, even then, the parents might pick it up and be like, here's your Pokemon.
Now, so there's this other thing about counterfeit toys where in countries where they don't have they want their children to have the toys that are popular, but they don't have the money to import them and then they don't have really like the licensing or anything to make them in their country. So they make knockoffs so that their kids can still have toys and stuff like that.
Whoa!
How do you feel about that?
How do I feel about parents making knockoff toys for their kids?
It's not parents. No, there's still companies making it in these other countries. They just don't have the licensing or the permissions to buy or sell or import them.
Oh, I'm Squidward.
Or maybe it's cheaper
knockoff
to
Squidward.
import them.
So how do I feel about companies?
That's what I first thought of when I saw this headline. But this was importing them from Hong Kong to Harrisburg, because Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, is the knockoff toy capital. Of the world.
Everybody knows that. Definitely.
Well, actually, maybe not the capital of the world, because the toys were coming from Hong Kong, but it's the knockoff toy capital of these United States.
Thanks for that bit of information. Moving on. Speaking of toys, let's move on to some more toys, but these are official. We got some new information on Lego Super Mario because there are power-up packs that are coming out August 1st. You get 4 power-up packs that unlock entirely new ways to play with your levels. Mario's wardrobe
I'm impressed.
now includes Fire Mario, the Propeller Mario suit, Cat Mario, and Builder Mario. As I said, they're all due out August 1st. First comment comes from Sokar. Says, why Propeller and Builder Mario instead of Hammer and Tanuki Mario? Maybe they're saving those for another date. I don't know. We got a very little bit of information on Monolith Soft's next project, which will most likely come to the Switch.
And that information is they're working on something.
They are. This information comes from an interview in the most recent issue of Famitsu. It comes from Monolith Soft's Tetsuya Takahashi, the head honcho over there. He says Production Group 1, which worked on Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, is also working on the new game. And Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition's future connected epilogue could have been a lot longer if it was offered as DLC, but that would have taken away team resources from the new game, so they wanted the team to focus more on the new title, whatever it may be. Planning for the new game started right after the launch of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and Monolith Soft presented the idea for this new game to Nintendo back in May 2018. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition and the new game both went into full production after Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Torna, the Golden Country. So that would have been August 2018. So now you got an idea of how long things have really been in development for. And I would guess maybe towards the end of this year, we'll get at least a teaser trailer for something, for whatever this is.
I'm pretty sure it's a remake of Disaster Day of Crisis.
I don't think so.
I think it is.
ZX Billy says, interesting. We might see this new game holiday 2021 then. I guess it depends on how adventurous they are in the scope of the game and, of course, the coronavirus impact on it. But yeah, 3 years, 3 months seems pretty doable. I'm going to make the prediction now, November 2021. Well, somebody marked down that comment. We'll see if they ended up being right. Here's something interesting. There's a rumor that an exclusive skin is coming to Fortnite on Switch. So a Nintendo-related skin for Fortnite. Now, a couple weeks back, there was a trailer for Fortnite Party Royale, which is the new space in Fortnite where you can go to just have fun. You don't have to shoot people. You don't have to worry about building. You don't have to worry about getting killed. You just go around and have fun. And in that trailer, Kirby was spotted. Very, very, very subtle Kirby, but it was Kirby 100%. The trailer that was on Nintendo's YouTube channel included Kirby, unobscured. That same trailer was on the Xbox and PlayStation channels on YouTube, and they both had blurred versions that didn't show Kirby. And everybody's been like, what has that been all about? Now we have this information coming from data miners who have been digging around in Fortnite, and they found something in the most recent update that says cosmetics.source.platform.nintendo, which usually points to platform-specific skins, and it says specifically Nintendo. So it seems that something is going on. Fortnite data miners have been at this game for so long. They do a really good job of finding out what's coming, like, or what to expect, and what things mean at this point. So I tend to believe them. The Kirby part is speculation. As far as the cosmetic or the skin coming exclusively to the Switch, I'd say that's pretty much a done deal. We just don't know what it's going to be. Steve Nintendo says, I'm calling it now. It's going to be the most disturbing tingle you've ever seen. I'm talking a tingle so messed up that it makes the Hyrule Warriors tingle look like Bradley Cooper. Some people would argue that tingle is disturbing no matter what. I am not one of those people. I think he's beautiful. I will tell you, PC thinks he's disturbing.
That's none of your business.
Josh, how do you feel about tingle?
A big hello to my fans.
Okay. North America. What do we get in North America this week? We got games. Well, it says Minecraft Dungeons, but that doesn't come out until May 26th. We got What the Golf, which Nikki Hill has been interested in. The Super Nintendo and
again, you're telling my business, man. That's not cool.
The NES collections on Switch Online have been updated. Super Nintendo got Wild Guns, Panel de Pon, and Operation Logic Bomb, while the NES got Rygar. The Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath DLC is that available yet? I think it's soon, if not available now. Also this week on the Switch is Ailment, Animal Up, Aqua Lungers, Arcade Archives Radical Radial, Arrest of a Stone Buddha, Blackjack, Chess,
I'm sorry.
What?
Where's the arrest of the Stone Buddha? I got this little piece here. Where's the arrest of it?
Chess, Concept Destruction, Discmaster, Fluxteria, Night Swap 2, Lost Artifacts Time Machine, Luxar, Monster Prom Double XL. I was going to say Monster Porn. Monstrum, Pushy and Pulley in Blockland.
Ayo.
Real Mist, Masterpiece Edition. If you haven't ever played Myst, one of the most popular computer games of all time, the remastered version is now available on the Switch.
I've never beaten it.
It's a tough one. I remember playing it on my friend's Mac. One of the neighbors in our neighborhood had a Mac, and he had Myst, and that's how I played it.
Actually, you know why I've never beaten it? Because back in the old PC days, when the internet was still dial-up, they didn't have walkthroughs.
They didn't. It's true. You had to go into a store and buy one. Or at least they weren't as prevalent or easy to find online. Red Wings, Aces of the Sky, Skelly Celeste, and Stramium Immortali.
Stramulum.
It's a double pack. Steel Rain, The House of Da Vinci 2, The Persistence, and Water Balloon Mania.
Ooh.
Mania.
There.
Water Balloon Mania.
There are your games this week. Steel Diver says, give us N64 games. 2D games are for old people. Steel Diver, I have not forgotten your IKEA request. Nikki Hill. Oh, I'm sorry. Josh, can you help us out here, please?
What are the next European masterpieces? Let's find out with Nikki's sweet releases.
Wow, Kurt Dog, I forgot all about Pissed. Holy crap. He's in the chat showing off the PC game Pissed. I really forgot about that.
Wait, what was that? I gotta see that now.
Hello, Rock, yeah. It's like a, like a spoof game. Speaking of games for the PC that are old, Chex Quest HD. Chex Quest HD. Mom Brain didn't know what Chex Quest was. Do you not know either, Nikki Hill?
Chex Quest?
Oh, forget it. We're done. Nikki Hill, do your European releases.
Mega doo-doo.
Thanks, Joe Shabadoo. We'll see you soon.
Have a good week.
Joe Shabadoo wants flarp on the soundboard. We need a good flarp. All right, Nikki Hill, I'm sorry. Please go into your European releases.
Is that me now? Can I talk?
It is you.
Europe.
Is that what I sound like?
The House. Is that what I sound like? The House of Da Vinci 2. It's a sequel. Never even heard the first one. Night Swap 2. That's where different castles used to swap their knights, right? Just like in that wife swap show.
That's exact. That was the joke I was going to make, and I honestly didn't because I thought you would.
Thank you. Thanks for giving me that. Golf with your friends. That's a game that Raw Meat's all about these days.
I have been playing
Cuisine,
it.
which I thought I said last week. Maybe you said it last week, but I thought it came out already. Chess. I believe that's just the old classic title.
King Talsha isn't. I'm sorry, Nikki Hill. King Talsha is in the chat and says, when I clicked the podcast, I did not expect it to be live. I've been missing it for so long. Well, you're here with us now, and we're glad that you are.
Goodbye, everybody.
That's it. All right, Nikki Hill, go ahead.
Luxar. That's coming. Skelly Celeste and Stramium Immortally double pack. Immortally, I don't know.
Mega
Myths of
doo-doo.
Orion. Lights from the North. So I got this head. All I got is his head. Where's the arrest of the Stone Buddha?
Oh, can't do it again.
Yeah, I know. It's just funny. Arrest of a Stone Buddha. Steel Crane. Fluxteria. Lost Artifacts Time Machine. The Persistence. Pushy and Pulley in Blockland. I want to see what that's about because those character names just sound. They didn't. I don't know. I don't want to be rude. Monster Prom XXL, Zeng, and What the Golf. That's not the same as Golf with Your Friends. It's What the Golf. We've got 2 golf games coming to the Switch in Europe this week.
Yeah, golf with your friends is
came.
like a mini golf experience. And what the golf is taking the idea of golf and turning it on its head. It's like full of golf non sequiturs and all strange ways to play golf where maybe you swing the club and the person goes flying towards the hole instead of the ball, or the ball hits a person, or blah, 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 blah.
But what was the other one about? Is it looked like you were like racing, like in the trailer for it or something, like racing balls, or are you just hitting balls like normal mini golf?
Golf with your friends?
Yeah.
There might be a mode for that, but no, you're all playing at the same time, so you don't have to wait and take turns.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah.
Thank you, Nikki Hill.
Arcade Archives. Oh gosh. A little something in the old throat. Arcade Archives Raiders 5 or Raiders Fat. I don't know. It's all one word. Raiders. Crypto by Paugi. Journey to the Savage Planet. You talked about that earlier. Never heard of it. Jigsaw Masterpieces or Jigsaw Masterpieces. Concept Destruction. Animal Up. Monstrum. And The Wonderful 101 Remastered.
Is that it?
Something?
No.
That's all I got.
Thank you, Nikki Hill. So
I am the world's best singer.
Whoa!
Wow, Josh, you really improved.
Yes,
Now,
I
Josh,
really did.
Josh, sing "Baby Locked Indoors" now.
We'll just have to wait and see.
Leave the people wanting more.
This guy doesn't take requests.
All
No,
right,
not at
moving
all.
on. Platinum Games, for the bazillionth time, has told people, hey, just because we haven't told you or we haven't shown more of Bayonetta 3 doesn't mean the goddamn game is canceled. We're still working on it. People are like, it's been so long since it was announced and we haven't seen anything. The game's got to be canceled or in trouble. It's not. And once again, they've spoken out. This is Platinum's Hideki Kamiya, the most outspoken man at Platinum. He says, I'm on Twitter, so I see a lot of comments every day. I'm happy that there's still anticipation for the title, but one thing I would like to address is the trend I'm seeing, which is people who are starting to ask if the game has been canceled. I want you guys to take any concerns you have like that and throw them out the window immediately because we're still hard at work on it and it hasn't been canceled by any means. Please look forward to it. They're just working on it. That's it. It's not canceled. I don't know why people keep saying this.
What about, I mean, it's not Platinum, but can I ask about another game?
I mean, look at Nikki. Oh, never mind. I can't keep saying that. Yes, Nikki Hill, go ahead.
What about Beyond Good and Evil? What the heck is going on with that?
I mean, your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah, I thought about that too.
Got no idea. Barry's got no idea. Clark 2K says, in one hand, how many times does he have to repeat that for people to believe? Thank you, Aloe. Clark says, in the other hand, how many times have we heard similar statements at previous games about previous games that ended up being canned? I don't know. How many times? I mean, it's happened for sure, but I would imagine in this, like, Bayonetta 3, like Bayonetta, it's the franchise that Platinum is most well known for. It's not even if they, go ahead, name their other franchise they're most well known for.
Well, not Platinum, I guess, but Clover. I go with Clover, I guess. You know.
So your answer is?
It's that other game that they just released.
It's Bayonetta. Wonderful 101?
No, the other one.
They just released the Wonderful 101.
I know, but they just released a couple months ago or something. That other one.
What's
Astral Chain?
Astral Chain. There you go. That's one of them, but that's not what they're most well known for.
I'm impressed. Well, give it some time.
Did you play Astral Chain?
What about Mad World?
Sure, they're not most well known for. Astral Chain sold better than that.
Yeah, but Astral Chain doesn't have Greg Proops supplying voice
That's
actor
true. That's
skills.
true. Platinum also shared some. Platinum shared. All right, I need to start from the beginning. So Platinum's Atsushi Inaba. He was asked about Microsoft and Sony's new platforms a while ago, and I'm paraphrasing here, but he was like, I'm excited, but I'm not really that excited. And people were like, Platinum's not interested in the new systems. Why are they acting like this? So Mr. Inaba was asked about the backlash to his statement, and he provided another statement that is sure to offer up more backlash. And why are we talking about it on this podcast? You'll find out in a second. I'll read you his quote. Let me see. I'm going to jump in here. He says, I felt like when I gave that response, there was a little bit of a backlash online to me being perceived as a snob or something. What I was trying to say was I played Final Fantasy VII Remake recently, and obviously so much has changed since the original game, especially with the graphical improvements. I'm always happy to see these markers that are pushing themselves to make more visual enhancements and improvements in technology, and I'm happy that we're able to do more with each console. But the comparison that I'm making is that if you think back to the generation between the Super Nintendo and PlayStation and how we went from pixel art to 3D polygons, nobody could have imagined that a few years prior. When that stuff started coming out, people were just blown away. They weren't ready for it. They weren't anticipating it. It was just so new. Whereas I feel that the announcements that we've had for recent console generations, while all good and interesting, and of course I'm happy for us developers to have better technology to work on, it's a perceivable future. There's not the extreme surprise or the unexpected quality that I felt from the leap to previous consoles. Now I see the announcements and I think, oh, that's cool. And then the next minute I think, what should I watch on Netflix tonight? But that's just my personal opinion. As an industry, it's all very promising, and I don't want to be perceived as too negative. But to give another example of my point, the Switch was very groundbreaking in how it was able to just take a home console and make it portable. It's something that you hadn't seen a lot of people doing before. It took this wall that perhaps a lot of people didn't even know existed, and it broke it down. Switch opened up all these new possibilities. I think the Game Boy and the DS did that as well. There were so many surprises in those. If you compare that to when we're simply seeing graphical improvements are just faster, bigger, obviously it's nice, but it doesn't have the same inventive quality that really surprised me with past consoles. We haven't seen everything from next gen at this point, I think, and it's still very likely that there could be a quality like that in these consoles that's going to be kind of a game changer. That's going to change how games could be played, and if that's the case, then maybe maybe they'll blow me away. So I don't want to sound like, hey, I know everything about the new consoles and they're boring. But with the information that I have now, I haven't seen any extremely big surprises. Mr. Inaba's statement is pretty much how I feel. I've said this before. I really don't feel that we're ever going to have a leap like we did from Super Nintendo to PlayStation because it was just so mind-boggling at the time. It was a whole new way for games to be presented. And nowadays, when you get new hardware, at least when it comes from Sony and Microsoft, you see the same thing that was done the previous generation, but it looks better. And that's the law of diminishing returns because games can only look so much more realistic or so much better. They can push more enemies and, have smarter enemies, and that may be impressive in and of itself, but it's not going to be able to match that leap from Super Nintendo to PlayStation or Super Nintendo to N64, certainly. And Nintendo recognized that back in the end of the GameCube days. They were thinking about how they didn't want to be a part of the hardware race about just making consoles that had better graphics all the time, and they looked at other ways to woo consumers. And the surprise of the Wii was certainly huge. I mean, that controller was an unbelievable moment. Whether you hated that reveal or you loved it, it was a wow moment. It was something that really shook you because you hadn't seen the game industry do something like that. And to a lesser extent, it was the same way with the DS, obviously. And I might not...
DS, you remember playing the DS for the first time and then being like, I want everything to have a touchscreen.
I mean, I do. Yeah, like if I'm just looking back on surprises with control schemes, I was certainly surprised by both the Wii and the DS, but the Wii was more surprising to me. But yeah, when you got into using, it's the same for both really. Like the Wiimote or the Wii remote, when it came to like pointing at the screen, the IR sensor, as a method of input for gameplay, there are certain things where I was like, this is better than any other option that we have. I want this in all games. And the same for the DS touchscreen. There were certain games that used the touchscreen. You were like, man, this is the perfect way to use controls. Like for this kind of setup, this is fantastic. Yeah. So yeah.
And then what did they do? They got rid of it.
So, and while
you're like aiming directly at the television, well, goodbye, kiss it goodbye.
The Switch is definitely. What do you mean? You can do that on the Switch? It's just virtual. It's not an IR pointer, but you can still.
You're not aiming directly at it. Well, you were never aiming directly at it, but at least they had like the.
No, like World of Goo. That's what you do. You point at the TV
with the Switch.
Yeah, it's just handled virtually. It's not like you have to recalibrate it more often, but it's still the same thing, minus the IR pointer aspect. And the Switch the Switch was certainly an innovation for had maybe not on the same scale, but it had that wow factor of showing you a portable that you could play on TV and take it wherever you want.
Wow!
Compared to what we're seeing from PS5 and Xbox Series X. I personally would agree with Mr. Inaba and say that's the bigger wow factor for me. I know SSDs are the big talk with PS5 and Xbox Series X and how they're going to eliminate load times and allow developers to create different types of games because they don't have to worry about creating loading points or zones where loading is going on. And, that remains to be seen. I'm sure that will happen in some games, but I don't think it's going to fundamentally change how we play or create experiences unlike any other we've ever seen before.
Do you think it would make sense if they started selling like a game on like an external hard drive? I mean, I guess a memory card is the same thing, right? Like the Switch card is basically like a memory card, I guess. But like, so instead of having to load it to the system, you can just like plug in this external drive. You know what I mean? Like you would, like the whole game comes in with, it's all loaded or whatever, and you just patch it in and you don't have to worry about like your system being like, you don't have to delete a bunch of stuff just to get this game to play. You know what I mean?
Well, what do you mean? That's what systems do now. You can plug in jump drives to like the PS4
jump drives, but I'm saying like the game comes, it's basically, like I said, like,
what do you
I guess the Switch
usually
the Switch game card is like its own memory card kind of. And you do have to load and everything, but like if you take a memory card and you plug it into a system and it's like, I don't know.
I'm completely lost. Usually I lose you, but with you, I'm lost right now. I don't know. Would you buy multiple ones for like each game would come on its own?
Yeah.
So why? I don't understand. That's the same thing as a cartridge or a game card. What's the benefit?
The benefit is that you don't have to delete all of your save information and everything. Like, I want to get whatever that game is, Call of Duty Warzone, and I have to delete everything off of my system just so I can play this one game.
Yeah, so you're talking like about a disc or a game cartridge that has the whole game on it. So you're talking about something we've had for years since the NES.
Yeah, but do you think that could ever go back to it? Because that just seems to make sense.
Well, Nintendo has, that's why Nintendo, with game cards on the Switch, they did it because the system's portable, obviously. But yeah, with other systems, Nintendo stuck with cartridges on the N64 because they were worried about load times. So Nintendo has, at least for a while, thought that cartridges had their benefits. And as I said, on Switch, it makes sense because the system is portable. But would we ever go back to that? I don't know. I think we're obviously moving forward towards more digital stuff. But the problem is what you're talking about. Games just get bigger and bigger, and you spend more time cleaning up your system or getting updates and making room for updates than actually playing the game. So yeah, it's certainly frustrating. You still have to take a
bunch of extra time to transfer, whereas you can just have a card, which is essentially you can have a solid, right? Aren't memory cards solid state drives, basically?
Well, it depends on what ones you're talking about, but yeah, but then still that wouldn't eliminate game updates. You would still have to download game updates.
Yeah, but those don't have.
That's not possible.
Yeah,
What if the card that you have has enough room for like extra updates?
Well, I'm sure. Let's say that was the case. There's going to be a point where it won't have enough room, and you'll buy expansion packs for these memory card games.
All right. Well, it's a terrible idea. Can I just talk about Platinum real quick?
Yeah.
So,
go ahead.
The first game that Platinum has, under their name of Platinum, is Mad World. I didn't realize that.
There you go. I didn't know that either.
Bayonetta is actually over 10 years old now. That was in 2009.
Yeah, crazy stuff, man. The destruction.
I'm still going. I also didn't realize that The Wonderful 101 is from 2013, and I didn't realize that
it's 2020.
They made Star Fox Zero.
Yeah.
and that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. I think I did know that, but that didn't do too well, I guess. And then the other thing is they're pretty well known. I think you really enjoyed Nier Automata.
I loved it, yeah, but I wouldn't say that's what they're most well known for.
No, but I know it was a good game. And whatever happened to that Project Gigi? They probably canceled that one, right?
Well, yeah. Now let's start talking about that being canceled. Exactly. We haven't heard about it in.
Was that a tie-in though? Was that a tie-in with Nintendo?
No, it's going to like everything. The Destructo 94 has a top-rated comment. It says, he's right, though. Whether some of us like to admit it or not, the leap from PS3 to PS4 and 360 to Xbox One weren't major in terms of graphics and visuals. PS5 and Xbox Series X look to be the same. I think we have reached a point in graphics where we can't look that much better. There will never be another graphical leap like we got from Super Nintendo to N64 or PS2 to PS3. Obviously, draw distance.
That is not correct.
Things on screen, loading times, and frame rate can always be improved, but graphic fidelity has reached its peak, in my opinion. While I do wish the Switch is more powerful, or Nintendo focused on hardware power a bit more like they used to, you got to admit the portability factor of the Switch is a huge game changer. Home console games on the go is one of the reasons why the Switch is so successful. Whether you like Nintendo's hardware gimmicks or not, they always try to innovate, which leads them to sticking out from the rest of the crowd. That being said, while Platinum Games has done a good deal for Nintendo, Bayonetta 2 and 3, Wonderful 101, Astral Chain, you hear third parties say this stuff all the time, yet never have any exclusives to back up their talk and claims. Yeah, I mean, Nintendo always does their own thing. They march to the beat of their own drum, and I appreciate it. For all their hits and all their misses, I greatly appreciate it because they look at games and they're like, how can we provide something different outside of graphics? Because graphics only do so much. Games can only look so real. Games can only... You don't get any more real than real, and I would argue the closer you try and get to real, the more it stands out as not real. Like, you'll see games where you're like, wow, look at the lip syncing. It looks fantastic. But then there's other like facial quirks where you're like, something's not right here. But you will look at like I'll look. What's the name of that game?
The babies.
Like games that are retro in visuals, but really go over the top in animation, impress me more because I'm not looking at a game and thinking it's real. But when you give me something that looks realistic, I am more impressed by it. You know, something like rotoscoping in a old school game or something like that. It just impresses me more. And I need to say, above all else, I love video games in general. I will play everything. I'm going to get, the Uncanny Valley, Wolfric Chaser. You're right. That's what it's called when games are trying, or things try and look real, but there's something off and it throws everything out of whack. I play all games. I'm going to get the Xbox Series X. I'm going to get the PS5. I love games across all platforms. I'm excited for realistic looking games just as much as I am games that look cartoony. I never go into a game for its graphics. I go into it for the gameplay. So yeah, I don't want to put down Sony or Microsoft by any means. I greatly respect what they do, and I'm excited for their hardware future. Just when it comes to the chase of better graphics, I think it's kind of silly at this point. But
I am the world's best singer.
Baby, lock the door and turn the lights down low.
Josh is getting better, damn it.
Thank you, Josh.
Did you know, Mom Brain, you did know. What time are we at? We've been going for a while. Oh, no, we haven't.
Did you know you can play Tetris for free on Tetris.com?
Thank you, Josh. I did know that. But this week we're talking about another classic game. Pac-Man is celebrating his 40th anniversary.
Oh, man.
A big hello to my fans.
Pac-Man, it's been around for 40 years, believe it or not. And there's a whole bunch of celebratory content out there. Minecraft has added in some Pac-Man stuff. There's a whole bunch of new merch like watches and arcade stands and clothing. And there's a statue coming from First Four Figures and a whole bunch of stuff. It's just, everybody. I'm really happy to see that people are celebrating Pac-Man's 40th anniversary because Pac-Man is a huge part of the industry. And I think Pac-Man, honestly, is one of the best games ever made because it's still fun to this day. It requires very little in terms of controls. So a player or someone who doesn't play video games can get into Pac-Man very easily. It's up, down, left, right. That's all there is to it. And it just remains fun to this day. You play it and you feel the urge to want to play more. It's just very...
I'm a hardcore gamer.
Josh doesn't play because he's hardcore. Yes, Nikki Hill.
I just want to, I'm not fat shaming him or anything, but back in the day, Pac-Man was
That's none of your business.
he was a little puck, and he's 40 years old now. He's really got to watch out because he's gotten pretty round.
I don't know. I think he looks better than ever. I don't think he looks a day over 20, in my opinion.
He's really got to work on his legs because they support that whole ball.
What do you mean he's got to work on his legs? The man started out without legs, and then he grew them in just 40 years. Give him a break.
Look at how beefy he looks. If those legs aren't strong, they're going to snap like twigs.
All right, I'll say what we're all thinking. Pac-Man looks sexy. There, I said it. Mom Brain?
Doesn't anyone care what I think?
Josh, what do you think? Pac-Man sexy?
That's none of your business.
All right. We have another feature from Rare looking back on Perfect Dark. It was a massive interview over at Eurogamer with 10 people who were involved with Perfect Dark at the time. I'm just going to give you some very quick snippets. They said, Rare said they had the chance to work on a follow-up to GoldenEye, as in another Bond game, but it got outbid and EA got the license. But there was a point in time where they were going to, or where they were at least considering doing another Bond game, but Rare was pretty much like, we don't really want to work with the license again. And apparently Nintendo respected that and just dropped it. And they were like, okay, you guys do your own thing. And they were.
Wait, that's not the Bond game. Is that the Bond game with Pierce Brosnan? The
GoldenEye, yes.
No, the one from EA.
Yes, he was also on one of theirs, yeah.
But is that the one that they were talking, like that was the next one after GoldenEye?
I don't know. What is it? Tomorrow Never Dies?
I don't know. The one where you jump out of the plane?
You got to look it up. I honestly don't remember.
Oh, like how am I going to look that up?
They also talked about how they came to the Perfect Dark name because they were originally going to call the game Covert Ops. Then they decided they were going to call it Alien Intelligence, and they didn't like that either. And it turns out in the end, one of the developers had a random word mixer, and it had a database of 200 words. And they would just print out lists of paper or lists on paper of what the randomly generated names were. And they saw Perfect Dark, and they were like, "Oh, we like that." They went with that. They talk about using the RAM expansion for Perfect Dark. They also talk about how originally they wanted to use the 64DD and have online play for Perfect Dark, but obviously those ideas were dropped. And also, David Doak, or Doak, however you say it, had some words about Nintendo in general, and he basically says that he believes Rare's games kept Nintendo alive in the N64 day. I don't want to mince words. He says, quote, looking back on it, I think it was an amazing place. The stuff Rare did, particularly with the N64, kept Nintendo in business. It was a powerhouse. Without the Rare catalog, Nintendo might not be in business now, end quote. So, I mean, man, I don't know if I agree with that, seeing as how Nintendo made Ocarina of Time, Super Mario 64, Star Fox 64, any other number, Paper Mario, a whole bunch of stuff. Would they have done as much business? No, certainly not. That's fair to say. Was Rare an important part of Nintendo? Certainly, without a doubt. They made some amazing games. Would Nintendo have ceased to exist without Rare on the N64? I don't think so. I think they would have been all right. They might not have been in such a good place, but they would have been okay. First comment comes from Orion. And Orion says, what colossal arrogance. He quotes what Mr. Doak says, and he says, no, you didn't. Rare made a handful of N64 games. That's not enough to keep a company in business. Well, I agree. What?
So there were a lot of games between the one I was thinking of.
NPD.
Thank you, Mom Brain. It is April 2020 NPD numbers. We have the data, and you guys have the guesses.
Do you have that other sound clip?
I don't want to be here.
Are you doing that on purpose?
What?
Because I thought there was a sound clip.
You had the one.
With Josh saying NPD, right?
Oh no, I'm talking about the Let's Get Fiscal.
Oh, I didn't add that to the soundboard. No, this isn't fiscal. What the hell are you talking about?
I don't know. It's money.
The force is strong with this one.
All right, top 20 games, April 2020. Let's go, guys.
Top
Animal
20
Crossing.
games, April 2020. Animal Crossing.
Yes, Animal Crossing is number 3. Yes.
Good one, Mom Brain. Call of Duty.
Call of Duty number 2.
not Game of Thrones.
GTA.
Yes, Grand Theft Auto number 5.
Oh wow, GTA 5 at number 5.
Also,
Minecraft.
Also, Call of Duty is number 7 as well. There's 2 on there.
Tom Clancy.
Hold on.
Ghost Recon.
No.
What the heck?
Minecraft? Did you say Minecraft yet?
Yeah, no Minecraft. What? Minecraft people buy digitally. Who the hell buys the retail version of Minecraft?
Is that what we're saying? These are all retail?
I mean, that's what it's been since the beginning of us doing this segment.
Is that what I sound like?
Minecraft
13
has
years
never
ago.
been on NPD?
Is that what I sound
It
like?
may have been on NPD, sure, but it sold 200 million copies. The vast majority of that is digital.
Mario Maker.
No.
NBA.
Oh, yes.
FIFA.
Number 4. FIFA. It's number 12.
NFL. Or Madden or whatever.
Madden is number 9. Yes, very good. All right, you got most of them. I'll give you the clues now. Number 1. I don't know how you missed number 1.
Final Fantasy?
Yes, Final Fantasy 7. Very good. You got 2, you got 3, you got 4, you got 5. Number 6. I'm trying to think of. There's no musical clues for this. Nikki Hill, it's a franchise you're familiar with. You and I played a particular installment in this franchise together.
For $1.
No, it's not. Not obscure.
What did we play? Resident Evil.
Yes, Resident
the
Evil.
remakes?
Resident Evil 3 is at number 6.
3.
Then Call of Duty. Did you say baseball?
Why 3?
Because it just came out.
When did the other ones come out? I thought the other ones were pretty recent too.
Natalia, the sluice.
The only other recent remake was Resident Evil 2, which was a few months ago. This is the remake of Resident Evil 3, brand new.
Perhaps that was the most important part.
Very good. MLB, Madden, and then number 10 is you kill rats to make nice hats.
Oh, Red Dead Redemption
Red
2.
Dead Redemption 2, yes.
The rats ate your eyes.
Your 11 through 20 are Just Dance 2020, FIFA 20, Mortal Kombat
We got
11,
a new bongo.
Borderlands 3. We finally got a new bongo in there?
I think we already had one.
Predator, Hunting Grounds, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Persona 5 Royale, Need for Speed Heat, and Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. So there you go. There's your top 20 for the month. And then we have details on how crazy well the Switch did in general. Switch was number 1 for the month, obviously. No surprises there. In both terms of unit and dollar sales. So it sold the most units of any hardware, and it's made the most money of any hardware. Along with that, year-to-date dollar sales of the Switch are listen to this, the highest of any hardware in U.S. history. Nintendo has a new record for April 2020, and they took the record from themselves. The previous record holder was Nintendo for the Wii, which was April 2009. So the best April in best console sales in April in United States history is the Switch.
You're not reading Still Ever's first comment.
I'm going back to it. These are 2 stories I'm combining.
Okay.
I don't want to read it though. Steel Diver says, good to see another third-party game on Switch's top 10, and congrats to Final Fantasy VII. Hopefully, Tifa's Mumbo Yum Yums can come to Switch in the future. I'm glad we read. I forgot that I read his comment already, like throughout the week, and I was like, oh, I get to read that on the podcast. Weird says Switch is a beast. The Wii was too, but it crashed pretty hard in the end. I'm hoping Switch becomes the best-selling console of all time. Well, I don't know if that's going to happen. But there's a chance. The Switch is doing it. The Switch is killing it right now.
Switch is doing it. Switch is doing a new thing.
There you go.
Switch is doing it.
And then we're going to skip this last top story because we're still doing research on it. I'll get back to you. It's about passwords on the Switch and how safe they are. Blah, 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 blah. We'll get back to that another time. All right. That's that. Mom Brain. Let's talk about what we played. What have you been playing?
Oh, thanks for asking. I've been playing Animal Crossing.
Oh, really?
Here's a funny little story.
Let's hear it.
All right. So I've been playing, every day. Oh dear, since it came out. Sometimes it's a little, sometimes it's a lot. Right now I'm doing some reorganizing and, moving things around. And it's a little bit
ironic.
Tedious, don't you think? It's a little bit tedious when you do like the all the construction work that you've got to like lay every path like one little bit at a time, and I'm constantly like laying a piece of path and then accidentally making a corner on it instead of laying another piece of path, and it's a lot. But as Twin Peaks teaches you, a path is formed by laying one stone at a time. So in my town, my island, I had Olaf, and Olaf's kind of sassy. He's all right.
Hi, robot face.
And one day he comes up to me, day before yesterday, he comes up, or 2 days ago, whatever. He comes up to me and he says, I'm thinking of leaving. And I'm like, all right, if you want to go, go. If you love something, let it go. So I was like, see it. Now, look, if Roald comes to me and tells me he's going to leave, I'm saying absolutely not. You're
Joe says, oh my God, Mom Brain, you are not alone in the path-making plan, or pain shenanigans.
Yeah.
You are not alone.
That's beautiful. Whoa. So I'm like, you know what? Go. So he leaves, and I'm like, partially a little bit excited that I get to, scout out maybe some new potential islanders. I'm always on the lookout for that sheep. So I go, and the first one island I visit is June, and I'm like, she's all right. The second one I visit, it's freaking Olaf. Like, he's on this island as like an islander. And no, he didn't. He got the present, A. Beaverhausen. Don't worry. Thank you. And so like, I'm like, all right, well, that was kind of a waste. I mean, I got all the materials from the island that I wanted, but so, oh, thank you, Hylian Tom, but I do have Roald, so we're good. So I'm like, I wonder if this is like fate bringing us together. So I go to talk to him and see what he says. Like, he doesn't even know me. Like, we didn't just spend like 50 days together on an island. Me giving him gifts, me visiting his house, I gave him a bathrobe because he told me he's got this ritual of going in an inch at a time and then spending an hour picking out a bathrobe after he gets out of his cool bathtub. No recognition. So I thought, you know what? You don't remember me? You're going to stay here on this island. And I ended up bringing home Kabuki. And I will tell you that Kabuki is real freaky, and that is why I invited him to come live on my island.
I'm telling you, maybe it's a clone of Olaf or a twin of Olaf.
Whose name is also Olaf.
Yeah. That's how it works. It's a clone. Maybe Olaf got shipwrecked somewhere, or shipwrecked on an island. When he woke up, he forgot everything. I'm surprised you didn't invite him back.
Kabuki, I believe, is a boy, although who am I to judge? And Roth says, imagine it like a Black Mirror where Olaf exists on the island and gets his memory erased.
That's right, yeah.
That's sad.
Well, you let him go.
I mean...
Yep, it's your fault. You did this.
Look, I already have a ton of guilt. Like, when I go to visit these islands and I'm like, I'm going to talk to you once and then I'm going to ignore you and hope I don't talk to you by accident while I'm picking up some weeds. It's very upsetting.
Sounds like you're having a real rough time. Just talk to Roald and that's it.
Yeah, he's really fantastic. What did I gave him the mustache glasses.
Yes, he looked quite handsome, quite fetching.
And then I just gave him, I gave him an old school jacket. So it's a leather jacket with a red shirt underneath and a gold chain.
Wow.
It's really nice. And then I think today I gave him something cool, but I don't remember what it was.
Roth says, speaking of Kabuki, I got the scary painting and watched it go from frown to smile. Oh, boy.
I don't think I can handle that.
Nikki Hill, is that it, Mom Brain?
Yeah, can I tell you about the trauma that I've had in my real life later?
Outside of the podcast?
Yeah.
I mean, we live together, so yeah. You can
No. I mean, like my life outside of video games.
Listen to the words I'm saying. Are you asking if you can talk about something on the podcast?
Yeah.
Because I said outside of the podcast.
But it's like outside of the podcast realm.
Oh, go ahead, yes.
Number one, I encountered a snake in the yard this week. and it was horrible. It was really horrible. I can't even. And then
What did you say?
A snake. She saw a snake.
not saw. I scared the snake, and it slithered away from me under a shrub.
All she did was see a snake.
And
You
then
know what that snake probably was? That's the leg of the frog you cut off last week.
Well,
it grew into a snake.
Just yesterday or the day before, there was a frog on the deck, and I was like, "Oh my god, I hope that's my friend." So then I look under the shrub where the snake went, and I'm like, "Go away, just get out of here." But I got to see where it goes.
Goodbye, Ridley Soria.
So I know where it is. So I go to get the hose, and I come back to spray the snake, and it's gone, and I have no idea where it freaking went.
A snake.
And then as a result of that, last night I had a real bad one. I had a terrible nightmare, and I was screaming in my sleep. I woke myself up screaming.
We're so late.
And Rummy and the cat both completely ignored me.
I had headphones in.
And left me alone, screaming alone in
Just
the bedroom.
remember what Robot Face says. He says, snakes are nature's strings. There you go.
But what was Rami going to do? Stop your
Laugh.
nightmare snakes? Or... I mean, Rami knew that nothing like broke into the house because he lives there. And
if you were here at my house and you heard me upstairs screaming, you wouldn't like yell up and be like, "You okay up there?"
I would have, yes. I was playing a game and I had headphones in. I'm sorry you had a dream about snakes.
He couldn't get to a good save point. You got to understand. He's got to save it before he can walk
You want to know
away.
the funny thing? In the game I was playing, there are snakes. That's a true story. Is that it, Mom Brain?
You know, Mom Brain, the one thing that I know about snakes is that they live in the desert.
Nikki Hill, what have you been playing?
Well, as you spoiled for everybody, or you spoiled it for me, and I don't think anybody else cares, I played and finished Bayonetta 2.
Yay!
And I think I realized what was like so weird about it is because like the story is going in one direction, but then when you get to a certain point, it changes directions, kind of like, you know, stories do sometimes. And I guess I had a hard time focusing on it because there's so much going on in that game that like I missed it. Like I missed that switch. But like by the time I got to the end of the game, you know, it was a fun game. Everything worked out all right in the end.
Now you too can start questioning if Bayonetta 3 is canceled.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Yeah, I mean, come on. That game came out in 2014. Just because I finished it now doesn't mean like they didn't need to wait for me to finish it before they could finish making the third one.
Robot Face, I was thinking the exact same thing when he said that. Robot Face says, Nikki Hill, hard time focusing.
You know what? Let me tell you something.
Oh, he lost his train of thought.
Wait, what were we talking about? So I played that, and I played some Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
And I think that's it, other than what I spent most of my time doing. I have gotten trapped in a hole that is Clubhouse Games.
Nikki Hill and I have had the wonderful opportunity to play Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics. I did a video for it on our YouTube channel. You can check it out there. But yeah, we have been playing it, and man, does it feel as good as it did on the DS, if not better. It's just it's so good. I love the idea.
With the controller.
Yeah.
But there are some things that you really need to play it handheld.
Like what? You don't need to.
No, you need like the slide puzzle game.
No, I want to be very clear. You don't actually need to. This is you pretending you need to.
You can benefit from it.
Well, that's how you play. That's not everybody. There are no restrictions. You're just saying you prefer to play solitaire, I'm guessing handheld.
No, I play that on the television. It's a very slow-moving game.
Then what do you need to play handheld?
The slide puzzle.
Ah.
And that what is it called? Oh man, the speed.
Yes,
where, like,
yes,
you have to get the cards in as fast as possible. Like if you try to play that with, you know, using the thumbsticks and like pressing buttons, it's almost impossible to beat the computer. But you have a much better chance if you play, using the touchscreens.
As I was saying in the video preview, there are a good amount of games in there that you will know, and also games that you know that you don't realize you'll know. So Uno is in there, but it's called Last Card, and Yahtzee is in there, but it's called Yacht Dice. And there's other situations like that. But boy, oh boy, Clubhouse Games is such a fantastic way to just play. It's just a great way to relax with a game. Like
It's a shame that didn't come out 2
I know.
months ago when all this quarantine stuff started. Actually, I don't know. Is it a shame or is it good? Because I've seriously, I can easily wake up and just sit and do play a solitary game.
Yeah,
until lunchtime, and then eat, and then go back to more solitary.
It's
because
great.
I'm alone.
I can't tell you how much fun I had playing Yacht Dice. Well, all those games that we played, but playing Yacht Dice with you, it was just a ton of fun. And
what was the other game? Oh, the tabletop baseball game is just it's funny, but I don't see that game ever working well for me.
Well, I mean, the pitching, it's all, well, they would tell you, you would hear baseball fans say that real baseball is all about the pitching. But yes, pitching, you can really psych people out with. Wolfric Chaser, you can ask some questions. I can't be guaranteed that I'm able to answer them, but yeah, you can ask. This is just based on preview impressions. The review is coming later when the embargo is up. But yeah, Nikki Hill and I have played, and we played Battle Tanks, we played Yacht Dice, we played pool, or billiards, I'm sorry. We played that marble one. What's that puzzle marble game? I don't remember what that's called.
Puzzle marble game?
Yeah, the 3 marbles that you drop down and you connect to make them disappear. Nikki Hill.
Did I play this with you?
Yes! The colored marbles where you line up the same colors. They drop down into the play field and you rotate them.
I don't know what that was called, but that's it's almost like a Tetris, like a match.
Yeah, I don't know what it's
6.
I don't know what it's called.
That
either.
game is great with a real person, but it's almost, again, it was impossibly hard playing against the advanced computer.
Well, you got to put them on normal then.
No, I know, but so for each game, you want to play it on each level and complete it to a certain extent, so that, or beat it, so that you can get a little crown or trophy for it.
Yeah.
But that game, because it's a fun game. But I was even watching the video that you posted, and it's kind of frustrating because balls fall in a different pattern that you don't expect, I guess. I mean, it's all physics based or whatever, so you should be able to understand it. But it surprises you sometimes. But man, what a great collection!
It is.
That's all I can say. I'm not going to rate it. I don't know what you're embarking.
We really had fun with Last Card too. I mean, it's Uno, so who the hell doesn't have fun with Uno? I love it. I love it. I'm so excited for it to come out and play with everybody, just because it's so much fun to just. It's so difficult to describe because obviously it's games a lot of people have played. It's a collection of just virtual versions of those board game classics or those card game classics. But there's just something about gathering virtually to play them that just adds in some kind of unique layer of fun. But like Nikki Hill said, you can play a lot of the games solo because you go up against the computer, but there are certain games that are better for solo, like Solitaire, where you just can pour a lot of time into them. It's great. It really took me back to us playing the original Clubhouse games because we played that so much and had so much fun with it. And I'm excited to play Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics locally when we can do that. But at least we can all play online together. I'm just looking forward to getting back into that. The sun is out. Yeah. So yeah, we'll have more thoughts on that in our final review. We'll have a video for that. And then we'll have a podcast where we really go into detail about all that as well. So, but yes, we have been playing that. Is that it, Nikki Hill?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
What have you been playing, Romy?
Oh, thanks for asking. I have been playing.
Why? You don't gotta thank me, man. We ask you every week. If I don't ask you, Mom Brain asks.
Is that what I sound like?
You know who never asks you? Is that what I sound like? You know who never asks you what you've been playing?
Who's that?
Josh. He never asks you because he doesn't care.
Wow, strong words.
He doesn't. Josh, do you care?
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Yeah. So yeah, I played Clubhouse games, and I played Friday the 13th, and I played golf with your friends, which is it's a nice time killer.
With my friends?
With your friends, yeah, specifically. It's a nice time killer, just online mini golf. It's not like the greatest presentation, and it's certainly a little wonky, but I still have fun with it. I played it last night, and we had a good time. I mean, it's mini golf, and it has a whole bunch of different options that you can turn on and off, which is very welcome. But yeah, it's just mini golf. I think personally they go way overboard with the courses. They add in too many gimmicks and make it too crazy. I'd like a few more straightforward mini golf courses. I think that would be more fun, but that's just me.
Hey, Rami.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but Malik Halo says he wants a new series of GoNintendo podcast members playing Clubhouse games.
Well,
Done. Let's do it.
Okay, well, we need to wait for the game to come out, though.
Okay.
I played a very little bit of Night Trap because I could not resist that deal, which may or may not be going on right now. Night Trap, which is normally $20, is available for $1.50. $1.50.
For $1.
There you go.
50.
But it's the revamped version. You can play the classic version and how that controlled and how it looked, but this is the revamped version where they, the video footage looks better and there's quality of life improvements that make the game a lot easier to play. But it is still Night Trap, so it's not the best game, but it's an important part of game history. And I would have paid $20 for it like it was originally priced, but I honestly had forgotten it was there. And then I saw the deal for $1.50, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm jumping on that. So I have never beaten that game. I will beat it now that I have it on a Switch, but
is that a promise?
Yeah, that's a promise. It's just I needed I couldn't pass that deal up. Yes, Nikki Hill.
Never mind. I'll tell you later.
Okay. And the only other thing I've been playing is Shantae and the Seven Sirens.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, where's that available?
Well, you can get the whole game on Apple Arcade right now.
Oh, so you're not playing it on a... This is a Nintendo podcast. Just want you to know.
Okay, well, I'm playing it on a Switch. Just want you to know.
What?
Boom, Tetris for Jeff.
I'm not allowed to do a review or any video footage of it yet, but there's nothing in there about preview discussion. So
when does that come out?
The 28th. The 28th. Yes.
Of May?
Yeah.
Can I ask you another question?
Sure.
When does the last Campfire come out? Because I saw that
Summer.
on Switch, they, like, when you log into the system, sometimes there's like news stories or whatever.
Yeah.
And there was an article talking about it in like an interview, but they didn't talk about the release date.
Yeah, it's summer. It's just summer. That's all they're saying.
Oh man, because it looks great, and they even referenced. They said like, how'd you come up with the art design? And they said that the one artist who did the design and stuff worked on Lost Winds.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And so I really want to see that game come out.
Yeah, I looked just not that long ago because I wanted to know an official date, but yeah, all it says is summer right now. I'm very excited for that. 2 trailers for that game so far, and both are fantastic. So yeah, I'm playing Shantae, or as she calls herself in the game, Shantae. And the Seven Sirens. As I said, if you want to play the game, you can play it right now on Apple Arcade. The full thing is there, but console versions comes out May 28th. It is a Shantae game, so it's a Metroidvania. And this time around, you can collect monster cards, and monster cards give you different abilities. So, like, one monster card might make it so that you can crawl quicker, or another monster card might make it so that your shield lasts longer when you're using magic, or blah, 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 blah. Every monster has its card. They all have different drop rates, and you just collect the cards. But outside of that, it is a Shantae game. So it's a Metroidvania, and you go around and whip people with your hair. And
thanks. Very cool.
This Shantae has some added bit of what's the word I'm looking for? Flourish? No, a little some extra in the animated cutscenes, because they're actually like hand-drawn cutscenes done by Studio Trigger, who has done countless amazing anime. So they're sprinkled throughout the game. I'm only I guess I'm an hour and a half, maybe an hour 45 into the game. And It's had a number of animated cutscenes so far. It also has voiced dialogue, but not all of it is voiced. So you'll get a few lines here and there. I'd say maybe 40 voiced, 60 not voiced. So there's a pretty decent amount of voiced content. And honest to God, the voice acting's good. It's like a cartoon style voice acting. It's good. It's not cringy. It's not bad. I'm honestly impressed with it. I like everybody that they have for the characters. And then it's Shantae. If you like other Shantae games, you'll like this one. The only thing is obviously they had some sort of exclusivity deal with Apple there for a while for the Apple Arcade. And this Shantae didn't have the same amount of development time as the other Shantaes. And some of the environments are a little drab compared to previous Shantae games. I don't know if that's going to change as I go on, but it's not as detailed as I would like. But gameplay wise, it feels like a Shantae game. So I'm really enjoying it. I will share my video review with you when I'm allowed to. But yeah, if you're curious about the game, even if you don't want to play it on a mobile device like regularly, you can at least try it out right now through Apple Arcade. Just get a subscription to Apple Arcade. I don't even know if they have a free trial for Apple Arcade. Maybe they do. But you can play it there just to get an idea of the game. You can play it with a controller too through your phone or your tablet. You just have to pair it. So you can play it with a controller. And if you like it, then get it on Switch.
You need to get a special controller.
No, like use a PS4 controller or your Windows PC controller.
You can pair that to your phone?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Technology is incredible, right? We're having a great time.
It is. So, yeah. I'm
not specifically this time. Right now.
Wow! Incredible!
So, yeah, I'm enjoying that, but I'm in the early days. So here we go. That's all we played. And now we're moving on to questions.
Had a last minute email question come in from Mikey3319. He asked if it was too late to ask a question, and I said that is
too late.
That is your domain.
Now it's too late. He wants me to just read a question that's not included in the question section.
I'll forward it to the question
we can
section.
do whatever
How
we
about
want
that?
now, apparently. Quarantine rules.
I mean, that's not. I have a question here from somebody else.
Right. So I'll forward it to you, so you'll eventually ask the question. How about that?
Okay. Is it important time wise? Good talk. Just read the question. We've spent too much time. Just read the question.
Okay.
This shows off.
Mikey3319 asks, we saw Nintendo add some Super Mario Brothers 2 elements in Super Mario Maker 2. What are your thoughts on the actual Super Mario Brothers 2 game? Do you think Nintendo will ever make a true sequel to that game? If so, how do you think they should go about it? Would you want them to? They did make a Mario and Luigi Dream Team, so I'm sure they can build a story similar to that, but return to Subcon. Thanks for all the entertainment you provide us every week. Don't ever stop. Love you guys. Mikey3319.
Can't stop, won't stop. Send your questions to GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com.
Where?
GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com. They can be about anything you want. Video game. They can be about Nintendo. They can be about.
Yep.
I'll go with you. Yeah, that wasn't timely. There was no time.
I said it wasn't.
I don't know. We'd have to play back the tape on that. I would hope. I mean, Mom Brain loves Super Mario Brothers 2, as do I. And my favorite game character in Mario is Wart.
Wart.
And they never use Wart in anything. It pisses me off. I want more Wart. So yeah, we would both love for there to be more Mario Brothers 2 stuff. I would love a direct sequel to Mario Brothers 2. I don't think it will ever happen. I'm hoping one day Nintendo just decides to do more with Super Mario Brothers 2 content because they don't really do much with it, but it is what it is. I would love a sequel. I don't think there's any chance of it happening. Nikki Hill, your thoughts on Super Mario Brothers 2?
Never beat it.
You should beat it. It takes like 15 minutes.
It's not a matter of time. It's a matter of I can't do it.
No.
You know what else I never beat? Super Mario Brothers, the first one.
If only you had the chance to give it a shot now.
I got no time.
All right, well, I guess that's our regular question, and I'll hold off on my other question until next week. Sorry, person I didn't say. You don't know that your question was going to be read, so no hearts broken.
Okay.
Yeah, Wolfric Chaser says, I know, right? We get Fanto, but not Shy Guys or Birdo. Yeah, come on. Come on. Get your act together, Nintendo. What the hell kind of crap show you got going on over there? A real shovel show. Today's Patreon question. The GoNintendo Patreon is just $1. You can join it, patreon.com/GoNintendo. Thank you for the recent rash of new members over on the Patreon. I don't know why you came over. I don't know what convinced you, but thank you so much.
Huh? What?
But I appreciate it. It's nice to see you, and I hope you have a fun time while you're there. Today's Patreon question comes from...
Wait, if you wanted to join the Patreon, how much does it cost?
Well, to actually get access, it's $1.
For $1.
For $1, you can join the Patreon. Today's Patreon question comes from A. Beaverhausen.
But did Kirby say what Kirby played?
Kirby's not here. Sorry. A. Beaverhausen says, what 5 words do you use the least?
I can't. Are you kidding me?
Mom Brain is moist.
The C word. The R word.
Rent?
Reaganomics.
What's the spelling bee word?
What?
Iridocyclitis?
Iridocyclitis.
I say that one a lot.
What do I use the least? Vegetables. It's hard to think of the words you use the least because you use them the least.
I know, that's where I'm stuck.
Also part of this question, what 5 words do you think are the best and what are the worst? Mom Brain would also say moist is the worst.
Moist is a tough one. I also don't really care, and it's common for especially women to not like the word panties.
Panties. Mom Brain hates panties.
Underpants. They're underpants.
I will say one of the 5 words I use the most is dude. I say dude a lot.
You do say dude a lot.
I will throw in kookaburra. I say kookaburra a lot.
You never call me kookaburra.
Only the cat. I call the cat kookaburra all the time.
I know, but you talk to the cat so much, but you hate him so much, but you talk to him so much that it's one of your most used words.
You use my name a lot.
Well, I mean, we live together, so I got to talk to the guy, the dude. Favorite words, man.
Fart knocker is a good one.
What's the one we were saying? My mom says moron. Is it moron?
I think moron.
You moron.
Yeah. I almost forget what she sounds like. It's been so long.
I'm not even sure if she's still around. I don't know. She was in the chat, I think, but I'm not sure. I'm trying to think. I know I have like a favorite word, but I'm sure it's going to escape me at the moment. I can't think of it. I just know for sure I say dude a lot.
Yeah, it's true.
Figured.
I do say figured a lot.
Milk. You say milk.
I must say milk a lot. Oh, you know what I say? Drinks and thirsty.
Beans. A. Beaverhausen. Beans. Yeah.
I definitely say drinks all the time because I love drinks. Drinks are my favorite thing. I'm talking about non-alcoholic. I just love drinks. I love the idea of drinks. Drinks are so exciting to me. I love it. When there's a new drink, I love it. That's enough, Mom Brain.
Drinks are so exciting to me.
Drinks are exciting. I love drinks. It's a flavored liquid. It's just exciting. What's this one going to taste like?
Your mom is here.
But you don't. Oh.
But I don't what?
But you don't like sparkling flavored drinks or essence drinks.
No, I do. Yeah, I like flavored. I don't like essence. I don't like one drop of flavor in a seltzer water.
He also doesn't like coffee. Joe is cool.
Have I tried coffee, though?
Yeah.
Multiple times. I have.
You know what he likes, though? He doesn't like coffee, but he likes instant coffee.
What?
Didn't you like the powdered coffee, like instant coffee mix?
I don't even know what you're talking about, and Mom Brain is equally as confused.
Oh, come on. Mom Brain made you like a special flavored beverage or something.
Oh, yeah. It was like a powdered latte something. Yeah. Remember you were into that for a while?
Nope.
It was like a vanilla latte, but it was powdered like hot chocolate.
I don't remember this at all.
Yeah, it was in like a red container.
Well, I just stopped.
Because it doesn't fit your story, pal. I get it.
Well, I just stopped.
You didn't finish the container of it. I'd be like, oh, do you want some of your special coffee? And you'd be like, no.
Because you called it coffee. If you called it like special milk, you probably would have drank it.
Special milk.
You want some of your special milk?
That sounds terrible. All right. Thank you for your question. A. B. Bear. How's then? And your Patreon support.
Beverhausen.
It's great to have you over there. All right. Let's wrap this up. We've been going way too long. It's time for some music.
Oh, baby. Here we
Close the
go.
chat.
Sorry,
This
guys.
is
She
the
can't
part of
look
the
at my
show.
lime
This is
sock
the part
anymore.
of the show where Mom Brain is once again surprised that we're moving into music.
I just was enjoying.
Oh, I'm supposed to talk about IKEA.
Go for it.
A bad time. I think he said one of our bad times at IKEA. I don't remember any bad
Do we
times.
ever have a bad one at IKEA? There's always a lot of pregnant people in IKEA.
I can
That's
tell you,
weird.
I always hide in IKEA. I love hiding in the like tiny showers or like in a bed or.
I think your mother in the chat will vouch for the fact that you
Yes.
have always been a hider.
There's an IKEA story. Remember when we took my mom to IKEA and she was in a wheelchair and I kept pushing her into the shelves?
And into me?
I would push whenever she wanted to see something on a shelf. I would push her uncomfortably close to the shelf. And she was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm just helping, mommy. You want to see what's on the shelf?"
She has such nice little petite legs that there was no like putting them down to stop.
And I would push her like extremely close to a person, and they didn't realize it. And she's like, "Stop doing this." It's such a great time. She was laughing though. It was fun. There you go. There's an IKEA story. Holy crap, that was funny.
Kirby says you guys never had an argument at IKEA. I'm sure we have.
Fake arguments when we walk into like one of the kitchens or something. We pretend we live there. and have,
Beefaroni
like,
for dinner again.
I love IKEA. What a great place.
is
Whenever
a
we
great place.
whenever we decide that it's okay to go out again, that's the first place I want to go. IKEA.
A. Beaverhausen says, whenever I go to IKEA, I stuff my pockets with pencils. I just pulled out an IKEA pencil to do crossword puzzles the other
One
day.
pocket full of pencils, one pocket full of meatballs. You're welcome, Steel Diver. Happy to tell you that story. All right, let's do music. Send your music to gnpodcastmusic@gmail.com. That is gnpodcastmusic@gmail.com. We need your tunes because without your tunes, this segment does not exist. So please send them in. Mom Brain, let's go.
I got music. You want to hear it? You want to hear it?
Oh.
Is that what I sound like?
All right. So the first song this week comes from Blood Ocean 07.
What system?
You're so cute.
What system? Bomberman. Mischief Makers. Harvest Moon. First Party? Is it a racing game?
It is.
Okay. Beetle Adventure Racing.
No.
Is it something like a whole like Konami? Is it Konami?
I don't know who it is. I don't know who
What
it
racing games are there on the 64? Is it licensed?
is. It's licensed.
It's licensed?
It's licensed.
Is it like a Looney Tunes or something?
It's not Looney Tunes.
Yeah, I know what it is. It's South Park.
It's not.
But it's got banjo and everything.
Is it like a Deliverance racing game?
Solid Master Link got it.
Is it kart racing?
No.
Is it? You said it's not first party.
It's not, but it's licensed.
Oh yeah, you said it's licensed. Garfield again. Let's
No.
go with Garfield. Go ahead. I don't know.
Ooh, Mickey Speedway.
No, the one I guess is on the Game Boy Color.
Yikes.
God damn it.
So that was Mickey Speedway.
I didn't even
on the
remember that was
64.
on the 64.
This one comes from, excuse me, my allergies are bugging me. Geku Kitsune.
That's an interesting name.
Is this GBA? DS?
I'm not sure what it's
Okay,
on.
it's Mario related.
It might be DS.
Super Mario Maker? No?
Mario and Luigi.
No.
Mario and Donkey Kong.
No.
Some sort of Mario sports game.
No.
Is it a
Was
Mario
it Nintendo
game?
Street or
It is a
something?
Mario.
I don't know what games. What?
It's a Mario game, Nikki Ho.
Mario Party something?
No.
It sounds like a portable to me.
Anybody in the chat want to give me a heads up on that if you know the song?
Mario's Pinball Land. Mario Pinball Land.
No.
This has to be a portable.
Mm.
Super Princess Peach.
No.
You know the name of the game. You can look
Yeah.
up what it's on.
Easy though.
March of the Minis.
No.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Mario vs. Donkey Kong.
Cube. It was on the GameCube.
This is game Mario Mix?
No.
Paper Mario?
Yes.
Just regular Paper Mario.
The Thousand-Year
Year
Door. Yep.
Man.
All right. So that was from Geku Kitsune, and that was Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. This one comes from Glitter Bubble 3.
Surfing game.
I don't think so.
Let's get it out.
It isn't. I don't think it's licensed. No.
Low G Man.
No.
Ninja something. Shinobi.
I have not seen it yet in the chat or in the
Oh, Jesus. If
Discord.
they don't know, I'm screwed. Go ahead, I don't know.
All right. It looks like Glitter Bubble 3 stumped you with Demon Sword on the NES.
Well.
Here comes a song from Mikey3319.
Can you turn up? Alright, this has to be Super Nintendo?
Uh-huh.
Licensed?
I don't think so.
Man, we're getting killed in music lately.
You are. I never would.
What was that?
He's right.
It's true.
No way. Nikki Hill got a bunch that one.
Yeah, I know. Go ahead, I don't know.
Rocky Rodent
Would have never guessed it.
on the SNES. And that was from Mikey3319. This song comes from Prat Trap. You'll get it.
Yeah, I know it, but I like it, so I'm gonna let it go. I believe this is one of the songs in this game that was composed by the Castlevania composer.
Sounds incredibly familiar, but
This is Shovel Knight.
It absolutely is.
Shovel Knight.
Excellent job. That was Shovel
It's the
Knight
underwater guy, I think.
from Prat Trap. Here's one from Regnilla.
Sounds like maybe a Dragon Quest.
It's not.
Could be a Kirby?
No.
I know this.
Yeah.
Is it recent?
Not Super recent.
What system?
3DS. Kirby, I think you know it.
Fantasy Life?
Yes.
There we go.
It was Fantasy Life on the 3DS from Reginilla.
I knew that.
This one comes from Steister, who thinks for sure that you are stumped.
Oh, God.
And this is a game that I believe Steister said he played with his sibling a lot.
That's as loud as it goes?
Zach and Wiki.
No.
What system? I like this.
64.
All right. That gives us a limited catalog to pick from. We also know it's multiplayer.
I don't know. I mean, there's the old
Glover.
Give your sibling a controller trick. No, it's not Glover.
Buck Bumble.
No.
Mischief Makers.
No.
I don't know. Go ahead.
Chameleon Twist.
Oh, I knew it. I haven't ever played that, but I knew it.
Ooh.
Damn
Good
it.
one, Steister. So that came from Steister, and it was Chameleon Twist on the 64. This one comes from The Sacred Wolf.
I recognize this. I definitely recognize this. What system?
Cube.
Billy Hatcher.
No.
Yeah, I definitely know this. Is this first party? No.
No.
License?
No.
Real confident.
What system?
GameCube. Franchise?
Yeah.
Ty.
No.
Tasmanian Tiger. Still around?
Yeah.
Mega Man.
No.
This isn't first party.
No.
What, ma'am? No.
Can I give you a hint?
It's up to you.
It was discussed during this podcast. In the news recently.
Perfect Dark.
That was N64.
Not like,
Stop
big
shaming
news, but like there's been news around it.
Did you say, why don't you stop shaming me?
Yeah, just like totally slam me down. No, you idiot. What do I know about games? Sure to complain.
It's in the news today?
No. Yeah, you talked about. Yeah.
I'm not looking at the news. It's Sonic something.
No.
Pac-Man. Oh my god, is it Pac-Man World?
Yeah.
That's why I knew it.
Pac-Man World 2.
Yeah, god damn it.
And that was from The Sacred Wolf.
I liked those Pac-Man World games. They were fun.
Here comes one from Wired.
Want to go back to your body shaming, Nikki Hill? Okay, I feel this is that composer again. It's gotta be. Silver Surfer.
No.
X-Men.
No.
I don't know what else he did on the NES. G.I. Joe.
No.
License?
I don't think so.
James Bond Jr.
No.
I don't know. Go ahead.
Target Renegade on the NES.
Well, would have never got it.
The last song for this week comes from Autumnal Blake, who we have missed today. I'm not sure where they are.
They weren't in the chat?
I don't think so.
Boy, isn't it going to be embarrassing if they were and you were like, well, I didn't see them.
All right, well, this one comes from Autumnal Blake.
I know this. Why do I know this? Oh, this is Zelda related. Okay, well, all right.
Autumnal Blake is sleeping in.
This is Link Between Worlds?
Yeah.
What a good song. Oh, no, he usually keeps score. I think my numbers could be off, but I think we got them all.
Yep, for sure.
Hey!
10 out of 10. Great job.
I feel like we got 5 out of 10 or something like that.
Everyone wins, according to A. Beaverhausen.
Well, I'll take it. Perfect score.
10 out of 10.
Everybody says we got a perfect score. All right, we'll take it. That's right. Autumnal Blake can go back in and check later when he watches the archived version. And Anastasia Beaverhausen put up a picture or a GIF of Estelle Getty or Ma.
She was on my running shirt today.
Saying, who cares? And that's true. Who cares? All right, that's it. That's today's show, which was a supersized one. I hope you enjoyed it. And now you guys know a little bit.
Supersized Nikki Hill, like Pac-Man.
Like fat old Pac-Man.
I said I wasn't fat shaming him. I'm just worried about his health. He's getting old.
And now you guys know some information about something super exciting coming to GoNintendo, hopefully this week.
Wasa, coming to go.
That's it, though. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Goodbye,
Stay healthy,
everybody.
stay safe. Double or nothing tonight, according to Joe is cool.
Everybody.
Yes, it is double or nothing tonight.
I'm opening this door. It is HAWT
It is
in here.
hot.
My whole furnace is completely off.
Kirby, we got 10 out of 10. We got every single one. Don't ask any follow-up questions. Thank you. Yes, tonight's double or nothing. I don't know if I'm going to get it tonight or not.
Baby boy.
I want to, but
What do they do? A pay-per-view every other week?
AEW, they do one like every 3 months.
Oh, AEW.
And WWE does one every month or a month plus. Yeah, I mean, Mom Brain hasn't watched AEW in forever. I watch it every week, so I'd be watching it pretty much alone.
I'd watch the pay-per-view with you happily.
Yes, Outlawed's got it right. Outlawed says, gentlemen don't discuss scores. It's true, and we are gentlemen here. Yeah, Mike Tyson's going to be part of the AEW pay-per-view tonight, presenting one, what is it, the TNT championship belt. And I'm sure he's going to get involved and start throwing punches and biting people. But we've been playing.
You had to go there.
We've been playing games with people, so I might be playing something tonight. I don't know. Nikki Hill, what are you doing tonight? More solitaire?
Yeah, I got a pretty full night ahead of me.
I got a lot of spiders to take care of. But it's no, don't you dare. Don't you dare, Comanche. It's always a pleasure to do the show. I hope you had a fun time with us. We had a fun time. He's thinking about jumping over onto the laptop. Wolfric Chaser says, I've been listening for years, and I've always wondered, when Jet Jaguar submits a song, you respond, focus all attacks. What is the source of that phrase when it come from? If you remember, I believe it was one of the GameCube Godzilla games. I'm pretty sure that's it. I would need to ask Lube, because I know Lube loved those games, and I'm sure he'd be able to recall instantly. But that is my guess. No, please
No, that's
don't.
what it was. It was definitely from that.
Can you behave?
Kirby, you are on point with the gifts in the Discord today. All right, well, we're done here. We gotta get things. I need a drink because I love drinks and I'm thirsty and I love drinking drinks and drinks 100 years. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hang out with friends and family virtually. Take a rest, relax. You deserve it. And let me get this going here. And that's it. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
It's still going.
Goodbye again, and goodbye. And